Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Àwa sálára àgbáyédá, àwa ló láṣà àti èdè. Gbígbédè lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o, àwa gangan ni bàbá.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
They never sabi wetin we carry for her.
But they move closer before them to sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body.
But they move closer before them to sabi.
Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, ìníhùn ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó lórí kòtò bí àdán ọ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè gbódùdúwà ga.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wa.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe gírí, ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí, ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀, àwa ni mọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Pé ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá.
Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá mọ̀ ní.
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá kájé gbùgbà yín jẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá mọ̀ ní.
À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá mọ̀ ní.
News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó tí wàá mọ̀ ní.
Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koikimedia ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gbàjòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ, àjòjì tó bá wọ bẹ́ẹ̀ á dẹ̀dẹ̀ ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ, jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ikú tó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
We bring you work closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ òòdùn kan kí oko lára ni.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Odùduwà lágbédá ní, òtítọ́ lágbédá ní.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sódì kẹta.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A dúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia, we bring you work closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia is around
To give us latest.
Is around
To give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us
Moki Bobo, I say good evening and welcome to the 24th of December 2024. Happy Issue Day, our more issue. And also Merry Christmas in advance to all our followers, our friends, the Yorubas, the non-Yorubas around the world. I welcome you once again to the edition of this broadcast, and I want you to please share the program as you are coming into the program. Tonight, I'm also Lori Yoruba Nation. As you know, this platform, a lot of things are happening on the social media, and I don't want to be taken away from the reason why we set up our campaign. All the problems happening in Yoruba land cannot be resolved until we have the privilege to have our own separate country. So Moki Bubua, the broadcast will be in English as much as also it will come in Yoruba. So if you're new to the platform and you've never been able to follow, share, like, we ask you to please do so. From across the continent of the world, I welcome you to today's live transmission. We are on our full broadcast, and that means I am streaming so that it can reach all the areas across all our social media handles. We are live on the Facebook, YouTube, MixLR, Twitter Space, and we are also live on IG on Instagram. If you have never had the privilege to listen to me before, you might want to sit back. As long as you believe in self-determination, which is the inalienable right of those around the world that wants to be free. So Moki Bubua, Molabe Moki Babawa Olori Kafata, the leader of the Yoruba self-determination. Under his leadership, we have lined, we believe in him, and we are going to do everything to help and support him all the way through until the Yoruba achieve their aims and objectives. And that is Professor Adebanji Akintoye Emeritus. Moki Baba, Moki Dada, for being a father that woke us up from our slumber after we've all slept for too long. Molobe Moki, the wife, and many of those that are working tirelessly. And from there, Akibabawa, a leader and a believer of the injustice cartel on the indigenous people known as the Yorubas. And the man that took himself out of his comfort zone to work towards the achievement and the progress of Yoruba dreams. With him alone, it would also need millions of us to give him all the helping hand. Torí pé àwọn náà lè dá ṣe. There is no amount of how skillful, powerful he is. He needs everyone to rally around him day, night, to support him and give him the prayers and all other support so that we can both all achieve our dreams of being recognized by the international community and the global world for a Yoruba nation dream. And that is no one else but Dr. Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, aka Igboho Sha. Tí a fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ k'Ọlọ́run Ọba Elédùmarè kó túbọ̀ bá wa dúró ti bàbá náà kó dẹ̀ bá wa lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀mí ẹ̀. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti mọ̀ pé kò ń ṣe àwọn méjèèjì nìkan ni the leaders. We have multiple different leaders in different roles across board. We are going to play our role to support them and to give them exactly why we believe that Yoruba needs to go. You've never shared the program. This is the privilege for you to do so before we play the anthem. Tonight, we talk about self-determination. Alọ́bẹ̀ a kí gbogbo àwọn kábíyèsí, àwọn jàǹkànjàǹkàn èèyàn tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá that doesn't want a recognized independent Yoruba nation as against being a Nigerian. Tá bá gba country wa, we will run all the same politics that is run around the world, build our own economy, and work towards a better identification for us. So mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá gbọ́ program wa lẹ́yìn tá bá ṣe tán, ẹ bá wa contribute towards the progress of this platform. And before we start the program, if you have never contributed to support Koikimedia and you love to, and you have always been asking, how do I support you so that your dreams of making Yoruba nation to go further, your dreams of making us to be recognized using your media channel, that is the details on the screen. And that details is how you can help and support. And if there's other way you want to also help and support that, you can always call me on our studio number that we would also be bringing up in just about a few minutes. Only few people have liked the program as the number is growing slowly and steady. If you like the program, you're sending a message to the algorithm that Ele Tatufi Lale is worth watching. If you don't like and love and comment, it doesn't help our recognition. I can tell you tonight that a country will be recognized in the new year that we are coming into. If we also want a Yoruba to be recognized as the new administration of Donald Trump will be coming in, we all have a role to play now. 4 years ni Donald Trump ní kó tó dájọba padà, if it will be Republican or it go back to Democrat. But as the power belongs to God, we also know that power belongs to those on the earth, the humans. This president that is coming in on January 20 might change the course of how the world is going to be running. And we want Yoruba to also be recognized. And that is why I will be focusing on not mentioning your names as you're coming into the broadcast so that I don't get distracted. because of the areas I want us to touch on. But I can tell us that as things are right now, if we also do everything within the power of the brain that we have, a Yoruba nation might be recognized before the tenure of Donald Trump is completed. He has 4 years, and that means the clock for us to be recognized by Donald Trump starts January 20. As soon as he becomes the president, we will give him everything possibly to let him also put a recognition for Yoruba independent country. That means that it is not just Koikimedia, it is now all the world of where Yorubas are, whether you are in Africa, Asia, Europe, or right inside America, that you have more privilege. This is not the time to sleep. We need every recognition, but the United States recognition as a member of the Security Council will give us a big leeway and a big advantage for many other countries to recognize us. And that is the reason why tonight we are focusing on that. As also we say happy Eshu Day fún àwa tí and celebrate. Eshu is not what a lot of people think it is. It is one of our gods that we believe in, and nothing is going to change that. So mo kí gbogbo àwa Eshu. Eshu is not a Satan, as it has been projected by many of the actors in the Nollywood. Eshu is one of us, and we are proud to call ourselves Omo Eshu. Likewise, as we celebrate Christmas tomorrow across the world, for those of us that are celebrating, let us remember millions of our people back home that will not have the privilege to celebrate because there is lack of peace in Nigeria. And what do I mean by that? Majority of Nigerians tomorrow, regardless of whether they are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, will go in hunger without a proper Christmas meal. So as you're celebrating, be cautious of throwing things away. I know it's not going to be possible, but each time you are cooking and you are doing those merry, which I will be doing in my house, I can tell you we're set for tomorrow. I will be remembering millions of my people back home that cannot celebrate like I am going to celebrate tomorrow. And let's remind us, we need the recognition so that within the next 4 years, millions of Yoruba people would also celebrate a good Christmas, and as they're going to celebrate Eshu Day, which is today. Happy New Year in advance. Moki Walen Konse, I say good evening and welcome to my live program. 2025 will see a lot of changes, whether we like it or not. Many of us will witness countries popping up and being recognized by countries around the world. We will see the world map changing, and we must prepare for such. Tonight, I would like to tell us about a particular country that is in the current state of being recognized when Donald Trump becomes the president of the Federal Republic of, the president of the United States of America. Sorry about that. Mo fẹ́ sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé ìní 24th of December 2024 lórí ìkànnì Koikimedia láwa yìí pé tí àwa náà bá tidy up dáadáa, tí a bá ṣe gbogbo ibi tó kù sí níbi tí ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation dé, ó ní ṣe pé Donald Trump might recognize us as an independent Yoruba country. But kò ní wá without a lot of work kó tó di pé recognition yẹn máa jáde. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ nínú ẹ̀ tá bá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí the next president of United States of America, Donald Trump, tó máa wọlé officially ní January 20, 2025. Níjọ́ tó bá ti gbàgbára sọ́wọ́, lóòótọ́ Ọlọ́run ló ní agbára, but Ọlọ́run gbé fáwọn kan láyé tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń lò ó dẹ̀ tún gbé fáwọn kan tí wọ́n lò dáadáa bí tàwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà. Mo fẹ́ fi dá wa lójú pé after tí a ti padà lọ wo ìlú wo ló ṣeé ṣe kí Donald Trump kọ́kọ́ recognize, wọ́n pe ìlú náà ní Somaliland. Kí ló lè fà á? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ tó máa fẹ́ recognize ẹ̀ tí wọ́n ní recognize àwọn ìlú tó kù? These are some of what I will be debating and talking about in this live transmission today. But in tí mo fẹ́ yẹ kó yé gbogbo wa ni pé nobody gives you a recognition without putting effort into it. You must first prepare to put your own work into anything you are doing. And that is why under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátá, we must now put our differences on a very side and work to make sure that 4 years ni Donald Trump ní lórí oyè, and indicator is pointing that Africa will be a search beam for Donald Trump. He will put a lot of things together, but àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ sọ nǹkan síwájú so that he can be able to look into the search beam of Nigeria láti lè jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn ìlú tó kù tó sì endorse the crime of innocent people in Nigeria to allow the country to dissolve. And what does that mean? It means that myself and you from all different groups will do many things for such to happen. What are those things? We'll be talking about it. But let's first go and listen to a former defense secretary. I want you to take note of this. Gavin Wilson says he has found an ally, A-double-L-Y, in Donald Trump to end the U.S. block on recognition of Somaliland. Who is this former defense secretary? These are high-profile portfolio that when you are in that position, you know a lot, you see a lot, and you are also likely to penetrate what might be of benefit. He was born on 25th of June, 1976. Sir Gavin Alexander Wilson, CBE, ojú ẹlẹ́rìí fáwọn tó ń wò wá lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, is a British politician who served in various cabinet positions under Prime Minister Theresa May, fáwọn tí a bá rántí, Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak between 2016 and 2022, which is just 2 years ago. Lastly, as Minister of State without portfolio from October 25th to 8th of November under Sunak. Why then is he talking about that Donald Trump will end the US bloc on recognition of Somaliland? How do we also make sure that we are not yet blocked because we are still campaigners? What do we do to support Professor Adebanji Akintoye so that Donald Trump will recognize Yoruba independence out of Nigeria as quickly as possible? That is what I want us to think about as the days are getting very numbered when the new administration will be coming into the office. And for us all, this is the opportunity to not just pray, but also prepare our mind for the future of Yoruba out of this contraction known as Nigeria. Let's first listen. Please share the program and invite others to do so.
A bit betrayed, I guess, by the Labour government. They said
they weren't going to reopen this hotel, and yet you're now dealing with this mess in your constituency.
Yeah, they were very clear they weren't going to be opening hotels. I think a lot of people voted for them, taking them at face value, and it's just not been the case. And I think what we're seeing, we've got a problem in my constituency, but I think this has been replicated in towns up and down the land, but the true scale of it hasn't yet come out because we've seen the numbers. I mean, since the issue of the idea of having a deterrent there to deter people to come into this country has been scrapped, oddly enough, we've got loads more people crossing the channel, coming into this country. It's a bigger problem than it was before. And I think the true scale of the number of hotels that have secretly been opened hasn't yet been exposed.
Yep, indeed. I visited one today. Hopefully we can show you the footage of that on Monday's show, but I visited one today that had been opened in the last few days. The locals weren't consulted. They weren't even told about it, and they're very, very cross. Gavin, just practically, can you just explain for viewers who may not appreciate why this is a problem? Why are migrant hotels a problem for communities? What exactly are locals upset about?
Well, they're concerned about it, the fact that it's a hotel that's not being used for tourism, for business, an important economic earner for the local area. That's been taken out of the local community. Also, this isn't actually just bad for the communities, it's also bad for the migrants that have been placed in these hotels with no support. So it's often left to the local councils, local voluntary groups, actually to...
You've listened to Gavin talking about migrants. Àwọn ló ń pè ní migrants. Àwọn tó kúrò nílùú kan tó lọ sílùú kan tí wọ́n wá ní àwọn tó wà nílùú yẹn lára tó jẹ́ àwọn community. This is exactly what the Yoruba is facing today. We welcome people, but we are also having issues of thousands and millions of people flooding into the Southwest and recreating a different Southwest that belongs to me and you. Like I said, when we are asking for Yoruba nation, we are not going to be hostile with neighbors. with those that have lived with us. But we want to be able to control the migration of people that are coming in. That is just from someone in the UK that we're also going to be talking about tonight. But the most important part that I want us to listen to is, this is coming from the Independent newspaper, and this article was posted on Tuesday, the 19th of November, 2024. And the headline was, Donald Trump set to recognize African states as official country. Ex-Tory minister after holding talks. A former defense secretary, Gavin Wilson, says he has found an ally in Donald Trump to end the US block on recognition of Somaliland. Before we tell you what he says, it will be nice to know the background of this particular country that they're talking about. Is it a country? And why do they need recognition? We are campaigning for Yoruba nation, but if we do nothing for people to recognize us, and I'm not just talking about people now, I'm talking about countries from the United States, UK might not give us the kind of recognition that we need as a country that brought in the pain of millions of indigenous people in Nigeria. But we must start to look for people, countries, to be able to give us such. Somaliland, officially the Republic of Somaliland, is an unrecognized country, ìlú tí wọ́n recognized, in the Horn of Africa. A number of politics have declared independence and sought diplomatic recognition from the international community as sovereign state, but have not been universally recognized as such. These entities often have de facto control of their territory. What does this mean in a layman term? If a Yoruba is declared as an example within the next 3 years, within the next 4 years of Donald Trump, and we still going to need recognition from countries. You can continue to run your country, but country like America can block you, France, Germany, Canada, and many other countries around the world. And that is exactly what they've done with Somaliland. Somaliland went ahead and declared their country, but they were not recognized. And that means that they were just running a country without being recognized around the world. I don't think a Yoruba wants such in our own space. That is why we must work hard now to make sure we are well recognized in advance. We are well recognized in preparation. We are well recognized by America's new president. And how are we going to do that? I'll be telling us more, especially those of you that are living in America, that either you voted for Donald Trump or you voted for the opposition. This is not the time for party politics for Yoruba people in America. Yoruba in America, you have a big task and role to play now. Donald Trump has won the election. Whether you voted for the Democrat is not going to help us as Yoruba to recognize and to be recognized. So if you're a party member of Democrat, do not, as a Yoruba one and woman in America, put sentiment. Your sentiment must be put aside if you don't want to continue sending the dollar home to support people for Christmas, for medical, for all sorts. This is the time that you will support a Yoruba nation using all those that are your or representative within all the 52 states, if I'm right, in the United States of America. You have the bigger role to play for us. This is the time to put your pen and paper out as Donald Trump becomes the president on the 20th. to start calling on your senators across America as they are pushing now for Somaliland to be recognized and the blockage to be removed. These are the push by some people, and one of them, like I said, is former Defense Secretary Gavin Wilson. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí ìlú ogun ló ń pè ní Somaliland. Like I said earlier, it is known as the Republic of Somaliland. It's an unrecognized country in the Horn of Africa. It is located in the southern coast of the Gulf of Aden and the bordered by Djibouti to the northwest, Ethiopia to the south and the west, and Somalia to the east. Eléyìí ò ń ṣe Somalia, don't mix it together. There's difference between Somaliland and Somalia, though there is relationship among both of them. We will go into that. Its claimed territory has an area of 176,120 square kilometers. That's about 68,000 square miles, with approximately, listen to this, they are not even up to the 60 million Yoruba people in Nigeria today. These are just 6.2 million people as of 2024. They are currently running their country as I speak to you right now, but the problem they are having is they are not recognized by anybody. And they need America to give them that recognition. America about to recognize one. Many other countries around the world will lift whatever blockade that they have. This is what we need. We have not yet been blocked because we have not declared and we have not got to the declaration yet. We are still on the awareness and campaign, but we must talk to countries like America as the new president is coming in and the previous one is winding down. The previous one has not helped us. The Democrats failed to help Nigeria. And many instances I can come across and tell you in the course of the program. But there is no longer going to be a Democrat for the next 4 years. That is why our push to Donald Trump is that he should recognize an independent Yoruba out of Nigeria as quickly, as swiftly as possible because of the terrorism. Because tomorrow, as I'm going to quickly tell you that, is a day that many of you might not remember. But I will remind you quickly because something happened just some few years back. And what was it that happened? There was almost an American airline. And this is part of what Intel America you'll be doing for us. You'll be pushing certain things. This young boy or this young man that you are looking in front of me, we must continue to remind Donald Trump that we have millions of them now in Nigeria and they might slip through the net by getting a visa to America and they will become a full terrorist to destroy and maim and kill innocent American citizens. On the Christmas Day in 2009, life of 289 passengers that boarded a flight from Amsterdam to Detroit, Michigan, witnessed a lifetime trauma. Egbomidada, this program is very unique. It is very important, and I hope that you are putting your hand and sharing it. Afegba Yoruba Nation, this is part of it now as we go into 2025. Because we have a new government that is coming in, and that is ready to listen in America. If we fail to get this on board, I might not know, but we have a lot that it might take longer before Yoruba Nation will come. A Yoruba Nation will come if we have America giving us that recognition now. If we don't get it now, while Donald Trump is in power for the next 4 years, let's just pray that the next president will be ready to listen to you at all. Let's remind you again that in 2009, a Nigerian terrorist that was born in a wealthy family, that schooled in the United Kingdom, boarded a flight that many of you would not have the privilege to do so. Many of you would have traveled through many other countries from land to sea to get to where you are going. But this one has the privilege to attain a visa, and a visa to take him to the UK to study as a student, and then also a visa that would have taken him to America, but he had no intention to go to America. His only intention was to blow up a plane full of innocent citizens that were traveling to America for whatever reason or returning back to America. We have American citizens in there, and we have many countries that have their citizens. We're talking about 289 people would have been killed by Umar Farouk Abdulmutala. He was only 23 years old as of 2009. Almost 23 years old ni. But ó ti ní lẹ́mìí látara àwọn jihadists tó ti sọ fún pé when you kill and maim those that do not believe in your own doctrine, you will reach heaven. Is known as the shoe bomber. Many of you forgot about him, but my job every 24th of December is to remind you of him. But now, ìyàtọ̀ ni pé we have a new government that is coming in, like I said, that can be of help to us, because Donald Trump does not want any innocent life to be lost, especially the lives of Christians. Umar Farouk, the shoe bomber, was ready to blow up. You can see him there. While he was in London, he had even picture with London Metropolitan Police. Just like many of us have that same privilege. But what people did not know is that this was a jihadist living in disguise. You are living with millions of people like these that are known as sleeper cells. I'll come back to that. But my job as a journalist is to remind us that we have the last lap to get things done for recognition by reminding Donald Trump that in 2009, Umar Farouk Abdulmutala, the shoe bomber, was almost going to kill innocent people, just as they are killing innocent people in today's Nigeria. Whether we like it or not, millions of Nigerians will die, but innocent life will also die if those that have the privilege from these terrorists gain visa to America, and they might end up like Abdulmutala. So let me give you a bit of the background. First and foremost, let me say shout out to many of us that still talk about him, like Sister Me, Arabi Rishola, that I picked up this information on a timeline on the Facebook. 289 passengers aboard a flight from Amsterdam to Detroit, Michigan, witnessed a lifetime trauma on Christmas Day in 2009. Umar Farouk Abdulmutala, a Fulani terrorist that lived in Nigeria but had the privilege to study in the UK. He was 23 years old, Nigerian, who has been radicalized by a Yemeni-based Islamic cleric, was on the verge of detonating a bomb aboard a plane. Ó fẹ́ fi ògùn olóró tó gbé sínú bàtẹ́, ó fẹ́ explode. Gbogbo àwọn 289 ò bá kú dànù. A dúpẹ́ pé kò ṣẹlẹ̀. The passengers was able to put up the flames, which had shared part of the plane, and landed safely. They were very lucky. Maybe some of us might not be lucky, and that is why we must cry to Donald Trump now for the next 4 years. Don't tell me that when are we getting Yoruba Nation is not the issue now. It's about when do we get recognized by Donald Trump by putting everything we know on his table through emails, Twitter, any phone, Twitter. Go and open the Twitter and follow Donald Trump so that the next 4 years we are bombarding him with messages, and all his cabinet, not just Donald Trump. Gbogbo ẹni tó ń bá Donald Trump ṣiṣẹ́ pátá we must be ready to work and send them messages, bombard them, and let them know that Nigeria still have millions of people like Umar Farouk Abdulmutala, and they are ready to commit atrocities within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. The passengers was able to put up the flames, which had shared part of the plane and landed safely. Sadly, Abdul Mutala Umar Farouk, known as the shoe bomber, as I speak to you right now, remain unrepentant. Kotewa remorse, though he's going to spend the rest of his life in the prison. Is Kemi bad enough not right now to say the Yoruba have nothing in common with the Fulani Northerners that are terrorists, terrorizing every single one of us? This is just to remind you that as we go back to why Somaliland will be recognized, let's take you back to 4 years ago of how a very important professor, James Carl Lindsay, talked about why isn't Somaliland internationally recognized? And this goes for those of us that always say, Elo declare, Elo say this, Elo say that. We must fine-tune everything within our brain power as humans before we can move to the next stage. But the major stakeholder is that we need finance and we need your brains, especially those of you in America. This is not the time to go and sleep. This is the time for you to roll your sleeve. Àsìkò tẹ́ máa pe Koiki kọ́ lélẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà. Àsìkò tẹ́ máa wá nọ́mbà àwọn sínétọ̀ yín èmi kọ́ lè máa pè wọ́n nísìn. From January 20, God's willing. You don't need to call me. You need to call your senator and start finding them wherever they are and shouting to them that your people back home need the new President Donald Trump to give us the full recognition that we need for the final push. Àsìkò pé ìgbà ọlá máa gba Yorùbá nation kọ́ ló wà níwájú wa nísìn. Àsìkò tá máa lọ wá recognition from the US President Donald Trump. Let's listen to how and why tí wọ́n fi recognize it 4 years ago. And now there is a push that Somaliland might be recognized as soon as Donald Trump. He might even recognize it the very first day. Who knows? This is where we say there's a difference between blogging and journalism.
Territories vying for independence and international recognition. Of these, few would appear to have as strong a claim to international acceptance as Somaliland, which seceded from Somalia in 1991. By all accounts, it meets all the main criteria for statehood. It also enjoys considerable international sympathy, and yet, after 3 decades, it remains completely unrecognised.
They have sympathy. Don't think that people will give you sympathy, but you might still not be recognized. We need the sympathy, but we need to be recognized. That is the task of not just Baba Akintoye and Igboho. It is the task for every Yoruba sons and daughters. Emma send the message to American embassy ní o, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Nigeria. That is your task. Ó ń ṣe kẹ́ máa pè pé àti dé Yoruba nation, àìtí gba Yoruba country. We are now rolling our sleeve. Gbogbo bí Áfíríkà tí ẹ bá wà, ẹ wá nọ́mbà American embassy. Ẹ ní láti jẹ́ ọmọ ìlú. Ẹ gbé pẹ́ẹ̀nì yín, ẹ kó gbogbo document, ẹ jù sí wọn by DHL, by UPS, by normal post. The task for Yoruba nation recognition ó kù sọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa. And I pray we will do so as we go into 2025. The recognition is the biggest part of anything that we can be asking for the next 4 years. Tí Donald Trump máa fi wà lórí oyè. Tá bá tètè ṣe dáadáa, ó ṣeé ṣe kó recognize wa as swiftly as possible. Tá bá dẹ̀ slow lé lórí tó bá lọ parí 4 years ẹ̀. Well, I don't know. Let's go back to the video so that you can understand that Somaliland pulled out from Somalia, like I said earlier. 2 different countries, 2 different operations, but the most important part òun ni pé we need to be recognized. Ìyẹn àwa tá à ń pariwo pa fẹ́ Yorùbá country. It can happen. There is a lot of evidence that you can pick up. You don't need to call me. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ti bomb blast tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ìbàdàn lásán ṣáàmú yẹn jó papọ̀ jù sí wọn níbikíbi tó bá wà. And if you need more information, all you need to do, just visit koikimedia.com. You will find every information that pertains to Yoruba Nation and document that you can attach to yours. This is the time to work. This is not the time to mourn and complain. You will not solve all the problem right now in Nigeria, but we can put pressure for sympathy from the new administration that is coming in called Donald Trump, the president of the the president of the United States of America. Is coming in, and it's coming in, and it's coming in very fast. I realized that one of the system was not charged. We are almost losing juice. Please share the program, even if you don't have any money to give me. Let's go back to the video from Professor James Carl Lindsay. I do not own the copyright. Once again, you're still watching Koikimedia, bringing the work closer to your doorstep.
In this video, I'm going to take a look at why it has faced such an uphill battle to gain formal international acceptance and consider whether this could change. Hello, my name is James Lindsay. Welcome to Independent Thinking, a channel dedicated to international relations, statehood, independence, and the origins of countries. Somaliland has emerged as one of the most interesting cases of secession in modern international politics. Lying in the Horn of Africa on the coast of the Gulf of Aden, it has effectively existed as a fully independent entity for the past 30 years. And yet, while it maintains strong relations with a number of countries, all its efforts to persuade the international community to recognise it have failed. So why has it faced such a struggle to be accepted?
Did you know that you could passively and relatively quickly build a property portfolio with the amount of money?
The territory first emerged in the late 19th century when the area fell under British colonial rule, becoming the British Somaliland Protectorate in 1884. This set it apart from neighbouring Italian Somaliland to the east and the south. As Britain retreated from its empire, the decision was made to grant the territory independence, and on the 26th of June 1960, the state of Somaliland came into existence. It was immediately recognised by over 30 countries, including the United Kingdom. However, the new country was short-lived. Just days later, on the 1st of July 1960, the Italian-administered Trust Territory of Somaliland became independent, and the two countries officially merged to form the Somali Republic. Despite the initial jubilation at unification, it quickly became an unhappy relationship. In 1961, a new constitution was passed, despite having been opposed by Somaliland voters, that effectively downgraded Somaliland by making it an autonomous province of the Republic. In the years that followed, this resentment grew as Somaliland became increasingly marginalised by the Somali central government in Mogadishu. This sense of alienation increased after Somalia fell under the dictatorial rule of General Siad Barre following a coup in 1969. In the late 1980s, the central government viciously put down an uprising in Somaliland, resulting in the deaths of many tens of thousands and the heavy bombing of the province's capital, Hargeisa. In January 1991, Barre finally was overthrown by clan forces from across the country, including Somaliland. However, rather than usher in a new period of stability, it instead led to a civil war in the south of the country. As the rest of Somalia descended into conflict and anarchy following the collapse of the central government in Mogadishu, Somaliland seized its opportunity to break away. On the 18th of May 1991, it unilaterally declared independence, or, as the leaders in Somaliland would say, it reclaimed.
Let's come back to the program. 18th of May, 1991, they've declared independent. Adewani 2024, and they are not yet recognized. I hope you are getting that part. It is not about declaring, it's about first pushing and making sure that the Yoruba Council Daduro is well in the world eyes, in the world ears, in the world whatever, for full recognition. I will not be mentioning name because of the time, but we will appreciate you towards the end of the program. Yoruba tá ń sọ pé a fẹ́ gbà, a fẹ́ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. We must push and make sure pé a make gbogbo ọ̀nà pé kó recognize it as quickly as possible, mostly in this new dispensation of Donald Trump between now of January 2025 up to 4 years to máa fi parí tenure. So we have the 4 years to work with. You can then work with it by January. You can work with it by end of December next year, or you can work with it by end of the following year. Ó kù sí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́. It is not Igboho and Baba Akintoye. It is now left to you and me to put all our sleeves together so that we can achieve our dreams. And our dreams can be achieved if we are recognized in time ahead. Because we don't want to be like a Somaliland where it took them up till now. Let's look at the timeline. We are now in 2024. 2024, Lawa. What they declared in 1991, that is 33 years ago. I hope you understand that for 33 years, this particular part of the world is operating, but they are not fully recognized. I don't think we want to be in that situation. And I don't pray that we will find ourselves in that situation. And these are more reasons why we are saying now that the recognition of a Yoruba independent country by the world's power from Russia, Canada, Germany, but most importantly, United States of America as a new government takes charge. This is where we need those that understand the world politics to put things together. And those of us are told to also prepare our mind that are we ready to exit Nigeria with the help of the new administration, regardless of whether it will be 100%, at least, even if it's going to be 20, 30%, it will go a very long way. And this is why we are saying to every single one of us that the task ahead starts. We're going to come back to the video because I want to move swiftly because of the time. And Merry Christmas in advance and Happy Eshu Day for those of us that are in celebration of Eshu Day across the globe as a true bona fide Yoruba sons and daughters. As we say all the time, Yoruba nation is not going to be given to you on the platter of gold. It is something that we would all have to work hard to achieve it. Let's go back and see more of why this former Tory minister is telling us that it is of importance that Donald Trump allow the recognition of Somaliland. Let's read through. Donald Trump is poised, P-O-I-S-E, to recognize a former British protectorate as an official country. I hope you understand that. Official country, according to a former United Kingdom Defense Secretary who lobbied the president-elect. The word lobby is unique, is important, and it involves a lot of people that understand how you lobby. If you lobby in the right direction with Donald Trump through Elon Musk, we might gain what we want. If we lobby through those that knows Donald Trump very well, we might gain Yoruba nation in the space of a very short time. Because we know the influence of Elon Musk in this new administration. Very, very important and very, very unique. And that is why we should do exactly what needs to be done right now. Sir Gavin Wilson told The Independent he has held talks. Ó ti bá Donald Trump sọ̀rọ̀. Kò ṣe kó ṣe fi bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ti bá Donald Trump sọ̀rọ̀. A wà lórí ètò. Ó ti bá Donald Trump sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. And it is important that we recognize that and understand that. And that is why we are saying to those of us that want Yoruba nation that it is not a joke. It is our lifeline. It is something that we must do now so that we will not witness the multiple event of atrocities that is going on in Yoruba land as we speak right now. But if we don't do much while Donald Trump is in power, I don't know what we might do or say to that. But all I can tell us is that I believe that we have those that are capable Yoruba sons and daughters around the world that can do the needful, that can be of helpful to make sure that a Yoruba is recognized as we move into 2025 quickly. Sir Gavin Wilson told The Independent he has held talks òun ti bá Donald Trump sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ní òun àti Donald Trump ti sọ̀rọ̀, ìyẹn Sir Gavin Wilson. Kí ló jọ sọ? Kí ló fa ọ̀rọ̀ sísọ? Ó lóun sọ fún Donald Trump pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ recognize the Somaliland, which holds a crucial strategic position on the Red Sea. Does a Yoruba land also have a strategic location? Yes. Within Africa, America must recognize us far away from Nigeria because the Yoruba land might be overrun by Fulani terrorists if care is not taken. By giving us a full recognition and where we have our own independent country, we can resolve all the borders issues and many other atrocities that is bringing threat, like the threat from Umar Farouk, the shoe bomber, ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni, wọ́n ní owó, ó ní ọlá, ó ní gbogbo ẹ̀, àmọ́ ó sì ní àníyàn láti pa àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù. According to him, after his arrest, his family told the BBC they have not heard from him since 2009. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tó sọmọ nù ni. Ọmọ tó rán lọ sí abroad kó lọ kàwé. Wọ́n wá náwọn òkú rẹ̀. How many of these are moving around in Yoruba land today? And some of you are thinking that the threat is not real. Let me remind the Yoruba sons and daughters, regardless of your children that are going on a dirty December, I pray they return back to you in peace and not in pieces. But we have seen many innocent Yoruba people that have gone to Nigeria and never returned back because they were killed by Fulani in Nigeria. And I'm sure you remember Gbenga Owolabi. That's the name I was looking for. The Gbenga Owolabi was just ordinary Nigerian. Mr. Olu Gbenga Owolabi, he left Nigeria in his 20s, but he was adopted and killed on his return in his 50s. But put it at the back of your mind that it doesn't matter whether those at home are safe, you are no longer safe as well as diaspora. And this is why we are crying out to every one of us to wake up now. The horrific story of Ogbomosho Hotelier, according to the report, this all happened 2 years ago. It was an evening on Thursday, July 28, 2022. The fury of the day's sun had passed and the business activities were gradually winding down. Suddenly, the air at Tana Suite in Aba, a community along Ogbomosho Ilorin Expressway in the Surulere local government area of Oyo State, was rent with noise. For a brief spell, panic and pandemonium reigned, and those who attempted to scamper to safety were immediately held hostage by two gunmen. One of those was Benga Owolabi, and I remember the beautiful sister, Rachel Okpa Dele, I believe I'm right with her name. She was just a student. You can see the beautiful smile on her cheeks, just like your own daughter, your son. But many of you have forgotten about her now because she's not related to you. But she was just an ordinary student of Lautech that was kidnapped. And we know what they will have done to her. I will leave that to run into your mind. Emotion run high on Friday when family members and friends gathered later to enter the remains of a final student of Ladoke Akintola University, Ogbomosho, Oyo State, Rachel Okpadele, at the Baptist Conference Cemetery, Aroje, Ogbomosho. Okpadele was abducted by the Fulani terrorists last week along Mr. Olugbenga Owolabi that came from Dallas or Texas, if I'm right, in America. The body was returned back. They did not allow the body to be buried in Nigeria. Imagine ẹni tó jọmọ Nigeria nígbà táwọn family read the pain of what Mr. Olugbenga. If I play the audio tonight and they celebrate Christmas, Lola, you will all have a miserable Christmas. So I will not play the audio. We still have the clip of that audio. I pray for the family of Olugbenga because I'm also one of their family, because they took me out of their family. Kolomban Droti, as you're going to be celebrating another Christmas without your father, without an husband. This is not the time to joke for a lot of Yoruba nation. This is the time that we hold on to the last lap of this recognition from Donald Trump as quickly as possible so that we can be free for the rest of our life. We have 4 years to play with. We lose that 4 years, I don't know what might happen. I pray we'll all wake up under our slumber. But let's go back to Rachel Okpadele. He was also adopted by the Fulani terrorists alongside Mr. Olugbenga Owolabi that came from America. He was the owner of the hotel where she was only working a part-time. Think about it. All those your beautiful children abroad, the terrorists wọlé kó mú wọn lọ, ó dẹ̀ pa wọ́n, ó ní pa wá lọ́mọ. Just think about it. Think about the pain of innocent children. But we're talking about people that their ideology is to kill men and put you in pain. Mr. Olugbenga Owolabi, the owner of the hotel where she worked part-time, due to the ongoing strike, because if they were not on strike, she would probably not have died. But since there was strike, and could have part-time, just like many of your children abroad. Think they were abroad. It was the academic staff union of university that were all on strike. Both of them were killed by their Fulani abductors despite paying 5 million naira in 2022. Owolabi was said to be living in Maryland. Yes, it was Maryland, not Texas or Dallas. He was living in Maryland, United States of America, recently decided to invest in hospitality business in Ogbomoso, just like many of you are investing in Nigeria right now without knowing the threat of what we are talking about. Because if you know if you don't know, if you say Nigeria, if you make a walk, they turn around without seeing the threat that we are saying, because you are saying it is not going to happen in Jesus' name. But Owolabi was a full Christian. I have the videos of how he was celebrated in the church in Maryland. Rachel was a Christian. This has got nothing to do with religion. It has got to do with you and me to do something as quickly as possible. Sources says he traveled outside of the country a few weeks ago and only returned to Ogbomoso the day he was kidnapped. Ijoti baba iwo Nigeria lo kidnap. I'm talking about Olugbenga Owolabi. Ijo to de kódà wọ́n tún fẹ́ rope family mọ̀ pé àwọn family ẹ̀ mọ̀ nípa bó ṣe kidnap. I pray that we will not be kidnapped as you're going home for Christmas and the New Year. And I pray you also remain vigilant that the Nigeria you left some few years ago, yesterday, is not the same. The government has failed drastically to protect us from these invaders, criminals. So let's return back. Let's leave all that and return back to recognition that we're still talking about. Because that is the reason why we are sitting here this evening. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. It's a day before the Christmas, and it's also a day that is known as Issue is Not Satan. Please share the program and invite others to do so as well. Sir Gavin says he had held a crucial meeting with Donald Trump and telling him the reason why it is important that the strategic part of the Red Sea might be more reason why Trump needs to give Somaliland a recognition. Now, the question I'm throwing out to you, the sons, the daughters, the old, the young, wherever you are, across every part of the world, what is it that we can give to Donald Trump in 2025 to tell him the reason why the Yoruba must be free forever, and likewise the Biafra and the Arewa and those that truly wants to leave Nigeria? Mo tún béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Kí ni ìtawà náà lè gbélé Donald Trump lọ́wọ́ as the strategic position? Because Sir Gavin Wilson is telling us that the reason why he's pushing Donald Trump to give Somaliland a full independent recognition so that they can also have their say at the United Nations that is coming up next year, when Donald Trump will be doing his first United Nations round during the UN General Assembly. Somaliland might automatically become a country on the 20th of January. Are you also thinking, how do we get Yoruba nation by putting something in front of Donald Trump and his cabinet, especially those that are closer to him like Elon Musk? This is the task. Chetty, Elon Musk bá ní dinner tó máa cost £5,000. Tọ́dẹ̀ sọ pé tá bá lè lọ síbẹ̀ o, bó jẹ́ 10 minutes ní, bó jẹ́ 5 minutes ní, àárí Elon Musk bá sọ̀rọ̀, ṣé lè tá ní ká dáwó tá dáwó? Do you know how much Facebook has given Donald Trump for the inauguration? Should we find out? Do you want to know how much is Mark Zuckerberg, not what, given to Donald Trump? And because I need the word. Okay, how much is Mark Zuckerberg giving Trump for the inauguration? iná Trump. According to the BBC, Mark Zuckerberg donate $1 million to Trump. Oh my Lord, I pity Yoruba people that always say, Koiki, you don't need money. Yoruba nation doesn't need money. Kákọ̀ máa pariwo ká máa create a headline. Ká jókòó 3-4 hours. Kẹ́ máa pè wọlé. We need to change the tactics in the new year. According to the BBC, Met owner ẹni tó ní Facebook tó fi ń wò mí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ àtẹni tó máa wò lórí Facebook àbí YouTube, the parental company of Facebook and Instagram has donated $1 million, about £786,000, to an inauguration fund for President-elect Donald Trump. What is Yoruba going to do to make sure that Trump hears about Yoruba nation in 2025? That is the task for you and me to go home with tonight. Kí la máa sọ fún gbogbo àwọn tó súnmọ́ kí lẹ rò? The same Facebook was blocking Donald Trump after he left office. Wọ́n jẹ́ kó rí Facebook lò. The same Facebook is now giving only gbà má bínú Donald Trump. Mo bẹ̀ ni gbà má bínú pé mo tẹ̀ jẹ́ kó tẹ̀ mo jẹ́ kó rí lò. The tech giant boss Mark Zuckerberg dined with Trump at his Malaga resort in November. Tó bá jẹ́ pé a ní owó tó tówó ni, ó jẹ́ kí Koiki náà lọ sùn sábẹ́ géètì Malaga yẹn bá ọ̀tẹ̀ jẹ́ ká wọlé, so that àwọn tó ń wọlé tó ń jáde ká tẹ̀ gbé bánà síbẹ̀ pé Yorùbá nation bí a kí wọ́n tẹ̀ capture wa níbẹ̀. Ẹ náà ní ìdòwò àdì. No problem. I say no problem. Kájọ máa jókòó sórí social media iná nù. Ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wà yẹn. But one thing is, we will not give up as we move into 2025. That is why we are saying and we are pleading once again to please donate to this platform. There's a task ahead and there's a push ahead. And to donate is very straightforward. Those are the account details on the screen. 6104290167 OPay. Every little contribution will go a long way. And the PayPal is musakalam1@yahoo.com. The Thai Bank is 040605 sort code 169062228 account number. For those of you that are contributing, we say thank you so much. And for those of you that are still thinking, please think very fast. Let's come back to the program at exactly 1 hour, 19 minutes. We're talking about the recognition of a new country in 2025. But those that have the means are also chipping. Àwọn tó Mark ṣe sọ pé I care less about Donald Trump. Bó bá wọn kó dé kó ṣe tó bá fẹ́ wù. No, you don't play the game like that. You can now see that àwọn tó lucky Trump out of the Facebook. Àwọn lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ̀ nísìnyí pé gbà má bínú ṣáà gba $1 million yìí, which is about 700. Do you think that £786,000 is not a lot of money? But to Mark, is not, because he knows the importance of the new government that is coming in office. Ǹjẹ́ wa Yorùbá ti ń prepare for the new government that is coming in place, or we are still sitting back and hoping that Jesus Christ will come down and Nobi will come down? No, all that is not what we are saying is not working. But we need to be strategic on the 2025 so that this time next year, a lè sọ pé a ti bá Trump sọ, ó dẹ̀ ti gbọ́, ó dẹ̀ ti gbà, ó dẹ̀ sọ pé ó kù díẹ̀ kóun announce officially pé Yorùbá máa lọ, Biafra máa lọ, Arewa máa lọ, Nigeria should dissolve. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. The tech giant boss Mark Zuckerberg dined with Trump at his Mar-a-Lago resort in November, having sought to repair his and his firm's relation with Trump following the election. Ó lọ repair, ó lọ ṣe kíni, ó lọ fi owó repair. kí làwa náà pariwo ẹ sanwó síbí ẹ sanwó sọ́hùn ká lè gbé ìrìn àjò yìí síwájú díẹ̀ sí i. Trump previously was highly critical of Mr. Zuckerberg on Facebook, calling the platform anti-Trump in 2017. Trump ní anti-Trump ní, just like I am saying all the time that Facebook remained biased on Koikimedia by making sure that nobody hears about us. But about by Yoruba country, he would have no choice láti ní ẹ̀yin náà ẹ̀yin Yoruba country ẹ gbà níbẹ̀ yẹn ẹ fi lọ ṣe inauguration yìí. But kò ní gbà nísìnyí nítorí pé àìtí ní recognition látọ̀dọ̀ Trump. Èyí jẹ́ kí Trump sọ pé kókò dárúkọ Yoruba nation. Ẹ rí i pé kíá ni gbogbo wàhálà tá a ní lórí Facebook ó máa succumb because wọ́n tweak ilẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ tí wọ́n ní kóòdù ní tábàkọ̀ ti fi kóòdù sí pé má jẹ́ kí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation kó débi tó yẹ kó dé technology ni. But tí Trump bá lè sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ tí a gbé ọ̀rọ̀ wa lọ bá ká gbé síwájú ẹ̀ ká gbé sẹ́yìn ẹ̀ ká gbé sórí ẹ̀ ká dẹ̀ fàdúrà tí tó kù kò ṣe pé àwa náà fàdúrà tí a ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí. We are wasting our time. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká waste time ara wa. We are at the crossroad and we must push for the final part. Facebook is not believed to have made similar donation nígbà tí Joe Biden tó ṣe tiẹ̀ ní 2020. Kódà or nígbà tí Trump ṣe tiẹ̀ ní 2020. Do you see that? Wọ́n ní nígbà tí Joe Biden tóun ṣe tiẹ̀ ní 2020 wọ́n ní kò tẹ̀ dáwó. Nígbà tí Trump gan ṣe tó wọlé ní 2016 wọ́n ní kò dá. Kí ló wá dé tó ń dáwó nísìnyí? Ó ń dáwó láti fi repair damage tó ṣe. Àwọn ò ní owó, àtún ní kọ lẹ́tà, àtún ní gbé phone call, àtún ní sọ̀rọ̀. Má béèrè pé kí la máa ṣe mọ́, ìta máa ṣe ni mo ti sọ fún ẹ. Àtúbí ní pé kí la máa ṣe mọ́, ká máa fi gba Yorùbá nation. These are strategies that we need to put in place. And we have got no time. We see time. Ẹlòmíì láti share program ó ní lára. Then how do you get Yorùbá nation? Because lọ́kàn wọn fi Yorùbá nation fi pawó ni. Ṣé Facebook náà fi Yorùbá nation pawó ló ṣe fún Trump ní $1 million? Gbà má bínú gbà síbẹ̀ yẹn tẹ fi kún kan tẹ fẹ́ ṣe. Lóòótọ́ Trump lówó lọ́wọ́ ọ̀ Trump sì gbà tọwọ́ ẹ̀ ríran o. Trump ní owó lọ́wọ́ ó tún gbà tọwọ́ ẹ̀ pé ẹ gbà tọwọ́ ẹ̀ jàre. Ọmọ tó náà wọn ò ní sùn àbí tó ní ìyá òun ò ní sùn òun kàn ní fojú kan òun lọ́rọ̀ wa ti Nàìjíríà. Nàìjíríà náà nígbà Yorùbá nation àwa gan ní Nàìjíríà a máa gbé gbogbo dáméjì Nàìjíríà á gbé lọ bá Trump. Gbogbo ẹ̀sùn tí Nàìjíríà ṣe fún gbogbo wa pátá á gbé lọ bá bòkò wá ń ṣèyàn kan mọ́. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lágbàáyé ẹ máa bombard American embassy lójoojúmọ́ for the next 4 years. Ó lè má tó yẹn o ó kù sí wa lọ́wọ́. Èdè French ló mọ̀ kọ́ ni kọ́ ní French, èdè Arabic ni kọ́ níbẹ̀, Yorùbá kọ́ síbẹ̀ kó post ẹ̀ wọ́n á gbà wọlé nígbà tí lẹ́tà bá bọ̀ bá the American embassy ní gbogbo àgbáyé pé Yorùbá fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n á béèrè lọ́wọ́ Trump pé ṣé ká announce nǹkan kan. Trump bá ní yes ẹ̀mí mímọ́ dọ́dọ̀ Trump nìyẹn. Mo ní sẹ́ no retreat no surrender ẹni máa kú ẹni máa yè bọ́ ká tó kú ẹja pariwo síta náà. Let's come back to the program. We don't want to lose the plot. Mo kàn mọ́mọ́ lọ mú yẹn wá tó ẹlòmíì tá a bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ owó torí ẹlòmíì tó bá ti ń gbọ́rọ̀ owó ìyẹn nìkan lẹ máa ń fókọ̀sì lé a dè lọ gbọ́rọ̀ owó jáde nísì pé àwọn tó ní kìíní gan sẹ̀ wọ́n ń dáwó pé kí ọmọ ẹ tó ń dá fún Trump yẹn wọ́n ń dá owó yẹn pé gbà má bínú pé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tá a ṣẹ̀ fún ẹ ká lè bá rọ́nà lọ. Happy Eshu Day and remember Eshu is not Satan. Merry Christmas in advance to all our family, friends and those that believe in the freedom of their people. And there's nothing called Nigeria. So stop wasting your time. And you cannot fix Nigeria because Nigeria is collaterally damaged. And we will make sure that we create all the necessary publicity of the damage that Nigeria has done to Yoruba people to the world in 2025. But we need your help to be able to do so. Every one of you that have done your own. So far, we say 200 people. I believe if I look at the list of those that have said Koiki, with the little that we have, the number has not reached 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're talking about 20 people so far, and I believe, like I said, you are all just tied up because of the Christmas and all that. I pray that we need those contributions, and we are pleading, we are begging. We said 200 people, and only less than 50 has reached out. But I believe that after the Christmas and the New Year, some of you will look into it and support. Just like Mark, no, she supported Donald Trump. Let's come back. The former Tory cabinet minister has been the leading advocate for official recognition. This is what we need to have somebody. Èèyàn tó máa lead pé apart from Baba Akintoye and Igboho, we need somebody that is outside, that has recognition himself. Tó máa sọ pé Yoruba people must be given the access to go. Could it be Kemi Badenoch? Could it be who? Could it be who? Could it be that? Let us think about it and let us move swiftly. Because èmi ò mọ bí tẹ́lẹ̀ ti jáde nísìnyí pé ó ṣàn push ìpèsè àní kò recognize this ex-British protectorate which has in effect been independent láti 1991, but kò sẹ́ni kankan tó accept wọn. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ẹ kú jókòó and welcome to the program. So the former Tory cabinet minister has been the leading advocate for official recognition of the ex-British protectorate. Kí ló dé tó ṣe ní òun fẹ́ kó recognize wọn? Why? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí ni gain ẹ̀? Kí ló wà níbẹ̀? Is there something that we need to know? Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. As we say on this platform, we're here to educate ourselves and learn a lot of the world politics. Please share the program and call somebody else in. All right, I think let's go into Declassify UK and picking something there. I'm just trying to pick something around this gentleman. So let's look at this again. This is the same guy. I'm sorry. Gavin Wilson kept lobbying for Somaliland amid civil war. This was in 2023, last year, September. Britain's former defense secretary made a paid-for trip to the unrecognized African state after it allegedly bombed a hospital. Àwọn kan ló sanwó kó fi lọ. Tèmi bá ní I need the £2,000 nísìn mo fẹ́ fly lọ síbi tó wà important tó lè support wa tó lè kàn fún wa ní kankan tó kàn lè mú kankan jáde. Can we have that £2,000 and say we are ready to go? Àdáṣe máa wá £2,000 yẹn. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin pastor wa. We are ready to work in 2025. Are you ready to also support? Okay? Okay. You want to call your sister? Can you take it out? Ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tó sọ sí bíbá. Gavin Wilson kò lówó ara ẹ̀. Nígbà tí wọ́n mọ value ẹ̀, wọ́n sanwó fún, wọ́n ní kó bá wọn lọ síbẹ̀. The same person nísìn ló wá fún wa ní ló fún gbogbo èèyàn l'assurance pé by 2025 yìí o tí Donald Trump bá wọlé o ẹ forget ẹ̀ ó ti di dandan pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ recognize Somaliland. Arákùnrin náà ni o òun lélẹ̀ òun lè rí yìí o. I hope you are understanding this important broadcast this evening. The day before the Christmas, and we call it the Christmas Eve. Let's read further. Gavin Wilson continued to press the UK government to to recognize Somaliland as an independent. Say UK to recognize the Somaliland, the people might recognize Yoruba. Put that here. I'm just asking. Say Britain to recognize it, but it's a fact that we must always put there. Everybody knows why not take it one at a time. Let's go further. UK oil company General Energy, whose deputy chair is Tory ex-defense minister Michael Fallon, is set to start drilling in Somaliland next year. On July 24, Doctors Without Borders announced it had reached the difficult decision to withdraw from the main hospital in Las Ahmad, a war-torn city in the Horn of Africa, claimed by Somalia and Somaliland. The charity said the level of extreme violence in Las Ahmad and the recurrent attacks on medical facilities had forced its healthcare workers to pull out. Earlier that month, the hospital had been hit for the 5th time this year, injuring staff, damaging an ambulance and shuttering the maternity ward. Amnesty International has blamed such attacks on Somaliland's army, which is said to have indiscriminately shelled the city. And yet, these apparent violations of humanitarian law did not deter a British MP from flying to Somaliland a week later on an all-expenses-paid trip in support of their government. This is why we are saying Yoruba nation is going to happen. The politician in question is Sir Gavin Wilson, represent the South Staffordshire, a rural constituency 4,000 miles away from the outskirts of Birmingham. Ewonu Okotonowa. Ìjà máa rẹ́yìn tẹwà l'Amẹ́ríkà, ẹ máa bá wa lọ gbéyàn kan tó jẹ́ inú oko lòun náà wà tó jẹ́ senator tó ní connection pẹ̀lú Trump tó jẹ́ pé ẹ máa lọ attend the dinner ni ẹ máa sanwó ni ó ṣe event ni ẹ. This is the time to participate in those things, especially in tẹwà l'Amẹ́ríkà. You have a work to do. Ẹ bá fẹ́ ràn wá lọ́wọ́, while we will also be doing ours. Since being kicked out of cabinet for leaking intelligence, or kick it out, or no leak intelligence, he has become a regular guest of Somaliland and he also holds honorary citizenship. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ tó fi fly low. Last month, their Chamber of Commerce spent £3,100 on his flight, food and accommodation for a week-long trade and political visit to discuss environmental issues and deepening relationship between educational institutions. Àwọn kan wà tó máa ní sympathy fún wa, àmọ́ àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe kí ni, a gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kàn sí wọn nísìn. And one of them, like I said, is Donald Trump. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́ and welcome to the program. Their spokesman, Mohammed Kapi, told Declassified it is morally reprehensible for a British MP to campaign for a murderous Somaliland regime while it was committing atrocity in Las Ahmad, causing the displacement of hundreds of thousands, killing hundreds. It is not the first time that Wilson has visited Somaliland. Their Chamber of Commerce paid £4,600 for him to make a similar trip in 2022, according to the MP Register of Interest. Somaliland has even held a Gavin Wilson Appreciation Day. Did you see that? Wilson went there in 2019 when he was a defense secretary and met the Somaliland top general. He was accompanied by Sir Macalton Smith, the then head of British Army and former commander of the United Kingdom Special Force. The trip won praises from Nico Ali, a British Somaliland activist who is a godmother of Boris Johnson's son Wilfred. She said Wilson's 2019 visit made her weep with joy. Care passionately. Like the rest of the world, Britain does not officially recognize Somaliland. So what on rò pé bóyá Britain máa recognize wa ẹ tutù ẹ̀ dànù. Kí ni mo sọ? Ẹ tutù ẹ̀ dànù. I repeat again, èní ni 24/12/2024 on a live transmission on Koikimedia. According to Dizzy Man, Koikimedia needs funding by giving us quality information news. 1,000 people, £10. I will pay for 2 people to support. Or that to drop it, or that 1,000 people, £10 each, as quickly as possible, so that we can run things in 2025. Thank you so much, Dizzy Man. 1, 2, 3. Only tabari 1,000 people and £10. Oh no, ma da owó tí yan méjì. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ń support. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ túbọ̀ support. I need it. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Donald Trump pé ó máa recognize ìlú kan ní 2025. Wọ́n pè ìlú náà ní Somaliland. Mo mọ̀ pé lágbára Ọlọ́run tiwa náà máa wà recognized, but kò ń ṣe pé ká jókòó tatarata. A gbọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ débẹ̀ ni. Àwa ń gbọ́ pé ìyẹn arákùnrin tó ń fún wa ní assurance tó ń pè ní Gavin Wilson, a former British Defense Secretary. He has paid trip back and forth lọ sí Somaliland yìí rí. Àwa tí wọ́n ń gbọ́ pé the United Kingdom, like the rest of the world, as of today 2024, does not officially recognize Somaliland, which unilaterally declared independence from Somali in 1991. 1991 was when Somaliland declared their independence out of Somali, yet it has not been recognized, not even by Britain. The British has not recognized them, but they are giving them some kind of training. The city is populated by the Dobahanti clan. We have the Fulani clan. Àwọn ló ń yọ wá lẹ́nu. Àwọn ló fẹ́ gbà ló mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Àwọn ló ní bó bá wù yín, ẹ máa play. Ẹ̀yin ẹ máa lọ ọjọ́ gógó. Kẹ́ máa gbàdúrà. Àwa máa gbalẹ̀ mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́. A máa dípò Kùránì yẹn sínú inú Atlantic Ocean yín. A máa make sure pé a lé yín. A máa make sure pé ẹ̀rí lé gbé. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lábroad ẹ̀yin rí lédè kò ní rí bẹ́ẹ̀ fún àwa o. Àmọ́ a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun. The rebel movement known as SSCA Kwatomo wants to rejoin Somalia. What began as a peaceful protest quickly escalated into all-out conflict after demonstrator was shot dead. And this is why we are saying that we want to go out of Nigeria peacefully. Ẹ jà ogun o. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a lọ peacefully. All the politicians, all our kings, ẹ dá sọ̀rọ̀ Yoruba nation, so that this can be sorted out amicably, as quickly, as swiftly as possible. What began as a peaceful protest, quickly escalated into all-out conflict. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ pé làwọn kan ṣe máa sọ pé ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun la mọ̀, àmọ́ ìparí ogun. Pé ẹ má jẹ́ ká dá ogun lẹ̀ torí ogun kan na need. I need ká resolve situation peacefully without any war. And that is why we will continue to create awareness and publicity, and we are going to produce materials in the new year. We are going to engage communities across Yoruba land. We are going to add extra layers according to our own platform, but it cannot be done without support. And if you are having any ideas, which a lot of you always have, Elomi idea ti ẹni pé a máa jà ní. Okay, Elomi, it's not about fight. It's about diplomacy. It's about engagement. It's about jaw. But one thing I know is that the task to Yoruba recognition in 2025, and I know it can be done. This particular person, is All Party Parliamentary Group on Somaliland. He told Parliament, Somaliland has been an amazing shining beacon of everything we want to see flourish in Africa. Gavin Wilson described it as a welcoming and a safe place for people to visit, in contrast to Somalia, which is dodgy by terrorism from Al-Shabaab. Opportunity. Sharipe, we have opportunity to tell the world that there is terrorism in Nigeria, and that is the reason why it is far better to have an independent Yoruba country away from the northern part that wants to continue to remain part of the terrorist country. Terrorists. We have Muslims in Yoruba land that are very, very, neutral. We have been always peace-loving engagement in our religion. But we are having people that are now coming in and they are putting in their doctrine that might end up like this young boy known as the shoe bomber, Omar Farouk Abdulmutala. Ofepa èèyàn 289 on a Christmas day from Amsterdam going to Michigan in America. The plane was going to explode. What Lenny? The plane came down on an emergency landing. Bishemba Insoro could feel remorse because he believed that killing people is part of their joy. He's not the only one. Lee Rigby was killed here by 2 Nigerians. This happened in United Kingdom. He was a former army and he was killed. Bear with me. I'm trying to find the full name of this guy. He was killed. That's it. Woolwich attack. A dead soldier has now been named Drummer Lee Rigby. This was in 2013 while I have been living in the United Kingdom. Kilo pa, kilo shele. A soldier was hacked to death in a suspected terrorist attack in Woolwich has been named as Drummer Lee Rigby, according to the Ministry of Defense has said. Described as a popular and witty soldier with a larger-than-life personality, he was a father of one. Drummer Rigby was attacked in a broad daylight by 2 Nigerian Fulani terrorists, because I'm yet to ICV, so we can call them now Fulanis. Brandishing meat cleaver in front of shocked pedestrians. The 25-year-old had previously served in Afghanistan, having joined the army in 2006 before he was murdered as he made his way back to Woolwich Barrack yesterday afternoon. It is with great sadness that the Ministry of Defense announced the soldier was killed in yesterday's incident in Woolwich, Southeast London. Is believed to be drummer Lee Rigby of 2nd Battalion. Àwọn wo ló wá pa? Kí ló dé tó ṣe pa? Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wo ló ṣẹ̀? Arákùnrin tó pa òun náà lẹ ń wò yìí. Michael The guy that killed him is known as Michael Bear with me. I want to get the name properly. Olele Michael Adebolaji that attended University of Greenwich in London. They play. Man sọ pé Koiki, shut up. I am telling you, they play. Ẹni tó wà civilized ní United Kingdom, ní London, ó wá hack èèyàn, orí àdá tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, wọ́n fẹ́ ṣá orí yẹn wálẹ̀. Ẹ̀kọ́ ọlọ́pàá tó dé, àwọn máa ní. They are serving a long-term sentence as I speak to you right now. Go. Many of those in Woolwich will remember this particular. This happened broad daylight. Lee Rigby, Michael Adebolajo, Michael Adebolajo. Olele. Àwọn máa lè. Wọ́n pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí nísìnyí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Tẹ́lẹ̀ sọ fún wa pé ká shut up, tata. Àbá ti post nǹkan, ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀. Ní UK lélẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Ẹlòmíì ò gbọ́ sórí yìí rí, ò lè gbọ́. Torí wọn ní sọ ilé fún ní Nàìjíríà. Let's go into how these Woolwich killers, the MI5 harassed Woolwich killer, says brother. Jeremy Adebolaji tells Al Jazeera that British Secret Services tried to recruit his brother as an informant. They began to harass him, they calling him, they kept asking him to meet and keep going to his house. There will always be something in here. Let's go back. Video yẹn ṣe show fún yín, but ìjọ tá à ń wí ọjọ́ burúkú blem mo rí wẹrẹ lájọ mi ti dé lù. Let's hear this.
For 3 weeks, the family of Fusilin Lee Rigby have enjoyed the
details of that Wednesday in Woolwich. Michael Adebolajo and Michael Adebowale claimed that
the two of them are Yoruba. These two are Yorubas. So ìwọ tó ń sọ fún wa pé, hey, no, it can't happen, no, it's not going to happen in Jesus' name, inshallah. Okay. Remember that when it happened, we don't know who might be hacked to death. They will never be released again to the street to kill. And wọ́n lọ máa kú sí àwọn máa yìí. Àmọ́ bí tó ti bí àwọn àmọ́rọ́ àtọ̀ tó tà wọ́n lè jáde. Ní UK lélẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ o. If this can happen in the United Kingdom, are you thinking about what I am thinking about those millions of those lọ́kàn roam around? Àmọ́rọ́ èèyàn tó jẹ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Do you know their plan? Tàbá sọ pé àwọn ọlọ́kadà yẹn ẹni ká shut up. All right. Let's hear how it was reported in 2013. 2 men has been found guilty. Let's listen.
there were soldiers of Allah killing as part of an ongoing war. But today a jury disagreed. Fusilier Rigby was murdered in the most shocking.
You heard what I'm going to rewind that. Killing is part of. I want you to share a program. What is it? Anyway, I party like way. So can't call up the Christmas. I party like way. My worry. I party like way. I keep going your way. I hope I let Christmas. As we are sending our love to you, we are also saying thank you so much for the beautiful year that we have spent, and we are looking forward to the new year. But this new year, it has a lot of work, and the work starts now. It's time. Merry, Merry Christmas. Messages will be flying tomorrow like yo-yo. I don't care láti lè ṣe wa níbẹ̀ pé a kó ìpalẹ̀mọ́ Christmas náà. A bá wa láyé. A ní ṣe lè láṣẹ mọ́. Ọdún tó ń bọ̀ náà, a máa tún ṣe jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe pa arákùnrin. Àmọ́ wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ kan níbí ìbàdí tí mo fẹ́ ká tún gbọ́. Àwọn believe pé killing is part of their own ẹ̀sìn táwọn gbé dání tó yàtọ̀ sí mùsùlùmí kádọ̀ tiwa. ń bọ̀.
Killing as part of an ongoing war.
Only killing is part of an ongoing war. Ta ló ń bá jà? Jihad. Àwọn wo ló ń bá jà? You can see why the Fulani is. Bẹ́ bá pa wọ́n, àwọn míì tún máa dé. Bẹ́ bá pa wọ́n, àwọn míì tún máa dé. And the reason why tó ṣe ń dé ni pé because we have an open border. A border that Baba Akintoye talked about. And let's hear how Baba Akintoye, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ilé tọ́nà kí wọ́n á pè ní tí Baba Akintoye sọ.
But today a jury disagreed. Fusilier Rigby was murdered in the most shocking and public way. Today his widow sobbed, along with other members of the family, as a police officer spoke on their behalf.
We would like to thank everyone who has helped us to finally get justice for Lee and the overwhelming support that we have received. This has been the toughest time of our lives. No one should have to go through what we've been through as a family. We are satisfied that justice has been done, but unfortunately, no amount of justice will bring Lee back. These people have taken him away from us forever, but his memory lives on in all of us, and we will never forget him.
Hiding himself under a blanket, this is Michael Adebolajo's interview with police just a week after the murder. Shown today for the first time, he tells them about the moments before the killing.
We decided to wait in the vicinity of the barracks that is in Woolwich. Between us, we decided that the soldier is the most fair target because he joins the army with kind of an understanding that your life is at risk when you join the army, you know?
Wearing his
Help the Heroes hoodie, carrying his army rucks.
I hope you understand what these criminals, mo pe understand nǹkan tó ń sọ mẹ́yẹn, pé arákùnrin tó lọ join army, ta ló ránṣẹ́ kó lọ join army, ìyẹn Michael àti ìkejì ẹ̀. Àwọn lúgọdé pé wọkẹ̀. À ń sọ fọ́mọ Yorùbá pé we are in danger. Ẹlòmíì àti ẹ̀jí láàárọ̀ á ní ṣe kò ṣàdékù tó bá ti dé kókò mátà. Àwọn ibi tó ń dé yẹn náà kò ń ṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni. Mo ń béèrè ní o ní January 16 wọ́n bọ́ǹbù ìlú Ìbàdàn gbogbo alágbọ́n yẹn. Ní Ọ̀wọ̀ massacre agbọ́n yẹn eléyìí tá à ń sọ UK lélẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀. So táwọn ilé bá lè wà tó bá lè indoctrine àbí tó convert wọn sí fanatics nínú UK. Kawari imagine àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà. So those of you that play with fire, àwọn ò ní gbà. We will do whatever we have to do to make sure that we get our people not to be massacred and their lives taken at short notice. People like these. Ọ̀pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ káàkiri. Ọ̀pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Koikimedia bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Edition the 24th of December 2024. I'm going to open the phone line shortly so that you can also engage in the discussion. Libita Sorode. But as we are asking for the world to recognize as we are going to look forward to the Trump administration, there's going to be a lot of things that is going to happen to Trump Bawale. There will be so much that we can't even emphasize it yet. Because this is a man that is different from the kind of the politics that man read on our show every time around the world. Mokibo went in Benin Togo. By writing to the US consulate tó wà ládùúgbò yín níbẹ̀ láti ṣọ̀lẹ̀ fún wọn pé Yorùbá fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà and it has to be done now. So the number that you will be calling to the show after you have listened to a bit of the discussion, but let's listen to this. Call it to Puani an insight of Atigbonipa why Somali is not recognized. Atigboyen. But mo fẹ́ ká lọ gbọ́ eléyìí will Trump recognize Somaliland? So in tí mo fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn máa sọ gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ tó ń ṣe àwọn mídíà tiwa tẹ́tí mọ́ irú àwọn ilé tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí nísìnyí àtàwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ will Trump recognize Yoruba people? Òun lèmi fẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ká ronú sí, and it can be done if we all put our effort to it. Gbogbo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé a kú Èṣù Day, àdẹ̀kú palẹ̀mọ́ Merry Christmas, Boxing Day, and the New Year. But not everybody like Ethiopia believe in the New Year. Àwọn kan gbà fún New Year. Gbogbo kí gbogbo àwọn tá a gbà fún. So eléyìí tá a máa gbọ́ yìí was produced only in, so ọ̀rọ̀ Somaliland yìí ṣẹ́rí pé ó ń gain tí kan bá ń gain traction bó ṣe máa lọ nìyẹn pópópó ó ṣeéṣe káwọn ilé tẹ̀tí mọ̀ pé ó máa recognize it, but wọ́n kàn sọ pé bóyá wọ́n ní àbí wọ́n máa. Let's listen to the narrative and the how these platform tó ń pè ní TLDR tó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa will Donald Trump recognize Somaliland? Mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà lórí ìjókòó àfojú payín rẹ́, but àfi máa dárúkọ torí we are already in a full transmission and it will take us away from the discussion. But we will recognize you before the end of the program. So what we are going to listen to right now is many out of what we expect to be listening to. We have taken a letter to Downing Street. It is part of recognition, very important, very vital. Very important, very vital. But we must not sit and relax yet, because it is not yet over. Number tema fi pe wọlé within the next 3 minutes or thereabout is number to wà lórí screening +44 74 0440 5917. Tẹ́ bá bá àwọn audio tí a release ta share síta, because of the people that are saying lè gbọ́ Koiki délẹ̀ dáadáa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa sọ fún Koiki pé àwọn ní data ìyẹn la ṣe ń ṣàwọn audio kéékèèké yẹn, ṣàwọn audio yẹn abẹ̀yìn ẹ bá wa pín àwọn audio yẹn náà kó lè káàkiri gbogbo ibi tó yẹ kó lọ. On behalf of my team, on behalf of the Yoruba people, we are also saying Merry Christmas as well. So let's take and listen to this. And once again, remember that you can also donate, and all the donations are voluntary and therefore Koikimedia to use towards helping this platform. Aago mẹ́jọ àbọ̀ lónìí lọ́dọ̀ wa, aago mẹ́sàn-án ṣe fi máa lọ gbórí sókè ni. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé, aago mẹ́wàá fi lọ gbórí sókè ni. Ẹni tó ra chicken lọ́dún yìí, bóyá títí ọdún mélòó kan tó ń bọ̀, tílẹ̀ Yorùbá bá dúró dáadáa, ẹ̀tẹ̀ ni máa náà fi jẹ chicken, nǹkan tó dùn lẹ́ máa náà fi jẹ chicken lọ. Bó ṣe láti rí nìyẹn. But it is what it is, and it is only to be what it is as long as Tabashi wà ní Nigeria. So let's go and listen to this.
Somalia doesn't have a great international reputation. It's one of the poorest and most violent countries in the world, and it's been in a state of crisis since the collapse of Siad Barre's authoritarian regime in 1991. However, tucked away in Somalia's northwest, there's actually a functioning democratic state called Somaliland, which has been de facto independent for over 30 years and held peaceful presidential elections just last month. Despite its best efforts, Somaliland has not yet been recognised as an independent state by any UN member state. But this could all be about to change.
That is very important. Somaliland has not been recognized by any member of the United Nations. But that is about to change. Kí ló fẹ́ change? Kí ló fẹ́ mú tó change? In tó fẹ́ mú tó fẹ́ change. Òun náà ni ọ̀rọ̀ tá ń bá lọ nísìn. Kí lọ̀rọ̀ náà pé Donald Trump tó bá ti recognize ẹ̀. If America don't fund the UN, àwọn tó kù náà máa succumb ní wọn ní choice. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ fún UK pé well, there's nothing you can do. We just want them to be free, and they're going to be free. And this is where we need that recognition. And we need it now. We need it now, not tomorrow. We need it ASAP. Let's go back to the video.
Earlier this week, it was reported that Trump was planning to make the US the first country to recognize Somalia.
One indicator show pé Donald Trump, White House looks set to recognize the world's newest country as breakaway Somali vote is leader spy international recognition. One Trump indicator ti show pé nǹkan kan fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 2025 àwa bẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ní gbogbo ọ̀nà ẹ̀ kó jọ in tó máa fáwa náà ní that recognition, that push in 2025, 2026, 2027 tó ní pẹ́ mọ́ kó tètè fún wa ká lè tètè bọ́ nínú ìdààmú àti wàhálà tí a wà nínú ẹ̀ látìgbà tí a ti wà nínú Nàìjíríà tí kò ṣiṣẹ́ fẹ́ nìkankan, kò ṣiṣẹ́ fọ́mọdé, kò ṣiṣẹ́ fàgbàlagbà, kódà ó ti dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ sí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn lọ́rùn. Ẹ bá mi gbọ́wọ́lé share button lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ bá wa pín ètò yìí. Ẹ bá wa pín ètò yìí dáadáa. Let's go back and listen again.
Somaliland. So in this video, we're going to take an abridged look at the history of Somaliland, why Trump wants to recognize it, and whether it's actually a good idea. Before we start, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and bringing the... You need a bit of context about Somaliland. We've actually done a couple of videos on Somaliland before, so go watch that if you want to know more. But the TLDR is that modern-day Somalia used to be split into two colonial territories, Italian Somaliland in the east and British Somaliland in the northwest. In 1960, British Somaliland became the independent country of Somaliland, to be recognised by 35 other UN members. 5 days later, though, Italy gave up Italian Somaliland, and the two immediately united to become the Somali Republic, which is what we now call Somalia. In retrospect, this was probably a bit of a mistake from Somaliland's perspective. Italian Somaliland has a population roughly 8 times that of British Somaliland, and the north was often overlooked by the south. Somalia's first constitution, for example, only passed in 1961 because it had overwhelming support in the south. Somaliland got its chance for autonomy in 1991, when Somali dictator Siad Barre was overthrown by anti-government rebels, including the Somali National Movement. The Somali National Movement were a northern paramilitary group, and after ousting Barre, they decided to declare Somaliland's independence, with basically the same borders as the British Protectorate of Somaliland. In 2001, they held a referendum on independence, which was supported by 97% of Somaliland citizens. Since then, Somaliland has been essentially an autonomous state outside of Somalia and a beacon of stability in a region otherwise beset by chaos. They've held multiple peaceful elections, and in 2017, Freedom House ranked Somaliland as the only free country in East Africa. The country is very poor, but they've got their own government, currency, passports, police force, license plates, and even a consulate in Washington.
Now, this is where games change. And when we're talking about some of what you are listening to right there, they are not recognized, but they are running a government. We don't want to be running a government that we are not going to be recognized. But not that we kò sí tó ń bọ̀ lókè tílẹ̀ kan ò tí gbà. Ṣé má jẹ́ kẹ́ni kankan fúlù wa pé nǹkan kan lè ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n run currency kan nísìn àwọn kan láìkẹ̀ kí ló dé tẹ̀ ṣe láìkẹ̀. Many don't share. And I'm talking about the Ruba. Let me come out and say to those of us that are saying, one for Ruba, a private business. Tó bá jẹ́ private business, ẹ̀yin náà lè set up private business tí yín. Ẹ lọ set up private business tí ọ̀dọ̀ tí yín náà. You can't be holding us backwards because any template of any other thing apart from the Ruba. Ẹ fún wa none of that one. Tá máa work pẹ̀lú. Tí bá sọ fún yín pé there is a big attack lórí Ruba. And I'm coming out officially to say that there are some people within the movement don't attack it. One is Bishop Adeshina, the private business. And kódà wọ́n ní wọ́n mọ̀. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń sọ pé wọ́n mọ̀ yẹn. Ṣé àwa mọ̀ ẹ̀yin ni? ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń sọ pé ẹ mọ̀ Bishop Adeshina ṣé àwa mọ̀ ẹ̀yin ni. And let me come out and tell Yoruba people tonight, and I want this place to be cut. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bá mi cut the video, ẹ bá mi cut the video like that. And let me put it on record as well, because tẹ́ bá fẹ́ bà movement yìí jẹ́ movement táwa ń ṣàìsùn lé lórí torí pé ẹ̀yin máa ní pé mọ̀yàn kan rí. Ta ló mọra wọn rí nínú movement? Ta ló mọra wọn rí? Ẹ mọ̀ mi rí tẹ́lẹ̀ ni. Tẹ́ fi ń dáwó fún mi. Ṣèbí trust lẹ́gbẹ́lé mi lọ́wọ́. Tẹ́ bá dáwó fún mi tí bá ná fún personal use mi tí ó dẹ́ pé ká fi ṣe Yorùbá nation tí mo ṣe kọ́. Àìtí sí nínú government, àìtí ní government. Tá bá ní government, à regulate gbogbo ara wa. Kódà àwa media gan, wọ́n máa regulate wa. Wọ́n máa regulate gbogbo wa. Ìṣòro ẹ̀ mo ṣe wà nílùú yìí, ó ní nǹkan tá lè sọ, ó ní nǹkan tá lè sọ because a ṣì wà lábẹ́ òfin. But tá bá ti láwọn tó jẹ́ pé iṣẹ́ tí ni pé ẹ fẹ́ bà nǹkan jẹ́. Ẹ fẹ́ ṣe kí ni mo sọ? Ẹ fẹ́ bà nǹkan jẹ́. Kẹ́dẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ àwa gan máa fún yín ní wòtòwòtò. Torí pé I don't understand, and this is Koikimedia bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Within the 24th of 12, 2024. There is a attack pé Bishop Adeshina pé rúbà tó ṣí ó fi ń collect data àwọn èèyàn ni. Pé ó dẹ̀ ṣe because YSDM wọ́n náà wọ̀n mọ̀ kankan nípa ẹ̀. YSDM dẹ̀ ni pé in tó ń ṣe yẹn o kò ní kankan ṣe kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀yin ẹ̀yẹ fún àwa náà ní template tọ̀dọ̀ ti yín ẹ̀yin YSDM ẹ̀yin ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ because ẹ fẹ́ báṣẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè jẹ́. Yes, gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ ẹ tó bá dẹ̀ jáde fún mi tó bá jáde fún mi màá jáde tán fún yín. Tẹ́ bá mọ̀ pé ntí Bishop Adeshina ṣe yẹn ó wrong pé kò ní ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ fún wa ní another template tá máa work pẹ̀lú because á jẹ́ pé àfẹ́ ìlú kan là ń sọ nísìnyí pé wọ́n ní currency tiwọn kò sẹ́ni tó recognize wọn wọ́n ní government tiwọn wọ́n ní passport tiwọn wọ́n ní police tiwọn wọ́n ní license tiwọn kódà wọ́n ní consulate tiwọn l'Amẹ́ríkà. That is the message that I received yesterday. Tẹ́ bá rí gàgàgà message tó kọ sí mi, àwọn tó send sí mi. Àmọ́ bishop rí o, kò sẹ́ni tó mọ bishop o, ó kàn gba data àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé o, owó ara ẹ̀ ló fi ń ṣe o, business tẹ̀ ló ń ṣe o. Tí bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe Yorùbá nation nísìnyí, tèmi náà mú kankan tí ó lè generate owó tí mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ó dá mo fẹ́ tà fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ sọ fún mi pé ẹ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kò tí sẹ́ni náà. Wàláìtàláì sí wọn bí láì làzí láwùwà. So tí bá jáde nísìn tí mo ní template kan tí mo fẹ́ gbé jáde tí mo dẹ̀ kódà káta ilé bí a £2 ká fi 50p ká fi sínú movement ẹ sọ fún mi pé Koiki ṣe business ni. Ṣé torí pé mi wà lórí media ẹ ṣe sọ pé mi ń gbowó lórí media tèmi. Ẹ̀yin ò ṣe jáde kẹ́ sọ pé Koiki tó gbowó lórí media kó má fún lówó ni wọ́n bá yín fa wàhálà. Tí bá sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé owó tá a dá ó ti há owó tá a dá sínú YSDM ó ti há bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́gbọ́n lẹ́nu mi lálẹ́ ó ti há síbẹ̀ owó yẹn ò jáde. Canada dẹ̀ ni problem yẹn ti ṣẹlẹ̀ màá sì filẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀ ní kúre. Owó tí gbogbo wa dá tí wọ́n fi ń di pé wọ́n ń dáwó padà owó yẹn ti hang sí Canada right now. Ẹ̀ ní ṣoríire àwa ń ṣe wàhálà ẹ̀yin fẹ́ bà nǹkan jẹ́ ẹ̀ ní ẹ̀ mọ bíṣọ̀pù ẹ̀ bá mọ bíṣọ̀pù ẹ̀ fún wa ní template mi tá máa wọ́ pẹ̀lú. Ṣèbí YSDM nísìn ó ti lọ bí 2 years nísìn. Bàbá yẹn a máa ṣe wàhálà ìyẹn bàbá Akíntóyè a máa ṣàìsùn ẹ̀yin kan fẹ́ bá ṣẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ nígbà fún yín o. 2025 ẹ gbọ́ Ṣígèrò ẹ̀jẹ̀ mo kọ̀ra fún àwọn èèyàn ní split view ni mo fún yín yẹn. Owó tí Yorùbá dá sínú YSDM ẹni Koiki ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ti hang. Àròwó yẹn gbà mọ́ bí ṣe bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí èèyàn kan ti di owó yẹn mú. A individual person ló di owó yẹn mú màá sì filẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Individual person ló di gbogbo owó tí Yorùbá dá ó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹni yẹn báyìí nísìn ó ti hang. Owó yẹn ti hang. Ìyẹn ni problem ṣe wà tó fẹ́ change details ibi tí wọ́n ń dáwó sí torí ọwọ́ ẹni tó dá sí tó rò pé ó sọ Yorùbá nation ó sọ di personal ẹ̀bẹ̀ títí ẹ̀ owó tá à ń dá owó yẹn ti hang. Ẹ jẹ́ sì dé mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá jáde tán màá wá jáde fún yín màá fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo fọmọ wọ́n sọ fún yín pé gbogbo tẹ́ fẹ́ mọ̀ tí ẹ fẹ́ fi ba movement jẹ́ àkẹ́dà ká tètè expose gbogbo yín olórí burúkú yín ẹ fẹ́ baṣẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho jáde ẹ fẹ́ baṣẹ́ yẹn jẹ́ ká tó débi tá à ń lọ nígbà fún yín one bastard Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Let me just leave it like that for now. So ká máa ná náírà, ká máa fi náírà, ká máa fi ṣe transaction. So kí Nàìjíríà lè lágbára lórí gbogbo wa, kò jẹ́ ká ti move kúrò nínú náírà. Tó bá jẹ́ pé a smart ni, a ti wá smart, ó jẹ́ by 2025 kò jẹ́ ká máa sọ pé a tún lo náírà mọ́. Ó yẹ kí gbogbo wa ti move away from that stupid money, owó tó ní value. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá fún wa £100 kò ní value. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fún wa ní náírà yẹn náà là ń kó jáde là ń fáwọn èèyàn kò ní value kankan. Kò ní value kankan rárá. Ẹ fẹ́ múṣẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè tó ń ṣe, ẹ fẹ́ fà wálẹ̀ àbí ànígbà fún yín torí àwa máa tẹ̀lé bàbá yẹn ó dẹ̀ máa kó wa délẹ̀ lérí. Bàbá yẹn máa kó wa délẹ̀ lérí. Ẹ mọ iye ìgbà tí bíṣù ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ìgbà mélòó lẹ́yìn kan ti lọ́lé. Ẹ mọ bíṣọ̀pù rí. Business yẹn kò wà registered. Ó ṣe kìnnìkan kò ní details. Email lásán ló ní, telephone number ló ní. Jàgbàjàgbà jògbòjògbò. Sọ fún yín èmi ni last man standing movement yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣàṣìmí lágbára Jésù Kristi kò ní ràn mí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá gbórúkọ mi lọ sẹ́ni wẹ̀ inshallah kò ní ràn mí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá gbé ẹni orúkọ mi lọ sọ́dọ̀ babaláwo kò ní mú mi àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan mi lè ní ṣe lẹ́yìn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ movement ẹ̀ ní kúure pọ́ńbàṣà kólúkálukú lọ ṣe tiẹ̀ ẹni tó bá túmọ̀ nípa finance ẹ gbé jáde kẹsàn fún wa pé Koiki á ti túmọ̀ ọ̀nà míì ká tún máa gbà tẹ máa make sure pé ní rí náírà rò ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kẹ́yìn náà sọ di business tabarẹ́ ẹni tó lè gbé plane kan sílẹ̀ gbé plane sílẹ̀ tabarẹ́ ẹni tó lè gbé helicopter sílẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan la need in 2025 going upward àjókòó sójú kan àwa à ń fa lọ sókè báyìí ẹ fà wálẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe lọ gbé dúpẹ́ náà ní ẹ mú gbogbo ẹ̀sẹ̀ dàrú ẹ̀ ní ṣoríire ẹ jẹ́ ń dé mọ́bẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ fi tó kù pamọ́ but mo sọ fún yín ẹ wà very careful torí pé iṣẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè ò ní bàjẹ́ iṣẹ́ Ìgbòho ò ní bàjẹ́ iṣẹ́ gbogbo àwa náà rẹ̀ ní bàjẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ parúbà tẹ́ ẹ bá mọ̀ parúbà ẹ fún wa ní kàn mí náà ká play with in 2025 tẹ́ ẹ bá fún wa ní kàn mí ká play with by 2025 for the next 6 months tẹ́ ẹ bá mú template finance mi fún wa pé Koiki o a mú template mi wá lórí màá sọ fún bàbá Akíntóyè àwa ní bíbá ní polówó YSDM kankan mọ́ fún yín fact ẹ ti gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi yẹn 6 months ni máa fún yín ẹ jẹ́ ká wọ January 6 months 6 months 6 months problem ti wà ó ti hang owó tá a dá ó ti hang sí Canada mo sì dé mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ tọwọ́ bọ̀ mí lẹ́nu ẹni ṣoríire owó tí gbogbo wa dá ó ti hang sí Canada ẹni mi ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ owó yẹn ti hang sí Canada owó táwọn èèyàn dá ṣe wàhálà nínú òtútù wọ́n hang gbogbo ẹ̀ so à ń sọ pé ká wá bá ṣe máa divert owó tá à ń send ní náírà ó lè reduce díẹ̀díẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ reduce tìlù bá fọ́nkọ́ tẹ́yìn bá náà yìí ò ní jà tí Biafra bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé Central Bank máa wà affected Tinubu nísìn níyẹn ló fẹ́ bá Nìjẹ́ jà àbẹ́ ẹ̀ tí gbọ́ etí ń du gbogbo wa ẹ̀ mọ̀ bá ẹ sáré wo ilé ìpínbọ̀ ẹ sì máa wà candidate mi lọ́nà kí n lọ mú yẹn wá Tinubu ló ti ń bá Nìjẹ́ jà náà nísìn tí Nìjẹ́ bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bá wa jà nísìn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń bà nǹkan jẹ́ ṣé ọmọ announce ogun ni Nìjẹ́ ló fẹ́ bá wa jà nísìn màá mú wá fún yín ẹ̀kúkú máa ń láìkì fact ìbídẹ̀ ní lọ́wọ́ Nìjẹ́ àti Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kó wọnú ogun in the next couple of months and weeks and days because Tinubu ó ti fún France láyè pé kó operate and that is going to be a biggest problem torí pé Nìjẹ́ ti sọ fún Tinubu nígbà tó wọlé pé ìwọ tó lọ ṣe chairman ECOWAS òun wá wàhálà ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹja gbọ́ fídíò yìí ẹ farabalẹ̀ kájọ gbọ́ fídíò yìí mú bọ̀. Ìfẹ́ mute mic mi ní ọ̀gbọ̀n bọ̀ fún mi ní few seconds.
Shifting focus to West Africa now, where a rift between neighbours Niger and Nigeria is widening. In the latest, the junta-ruled Niger has accused Nigeria of colluding with foreign powers to destabilize its neighbour. Niger's junta has claimed that Nigeria is acting as a base for destabilizing Africa.
Mo ń bọ̀ ṣe ẹgbọ́n kan tí bèbí yẹn sọ nísìn ó rà pé ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tó sọ mo ń bọ̀ ẹ rò pé Biafra nìkan ni ó lè tú wàhálà lẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Tinubu ti lọ tọwọ́ bọ ṣọ̀bọ̀lọ̀. Kí ni mo sọ? President Bola Tinubu ó ti lọ tọwọ́ bọ ṣọ̀bọ̀lọ̀. Ṣọ̀bọ̀lọ̀ kẹ̀rí wọ́n ń gbé bọ̀ níwájú gbogbo lé wa. Torí pé ètò wà nílẹ̀ gbogbo wa ò ní wò tán nígbà tí wàhálà yẹn bá dé. Nígbà tí wàhálà yẹn bá dé gbogbo wa à ní wò tán. Àwọn kan wá mú àìdíà wá. Ẹ̀yin náà fún wa ní àwọn àìdíà. Sọ pé èèyàn kan ṣe business tó bá wá ń ṣe business nǹkan. Ṣàfẹ́ mú kẹfẹ́ da ojú ẹ̀rú ká da ojú ẹ̀rú káwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tún wà nínú Nàìjíríà for a very long time. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ká tún wà nínú Nàìjíríà ká máa ṣe ràkàtíà ká máa ṣe ròkòtíò ká wà lójú kan. Tẹ́yìn ò bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí rúbà ẹ fún àwa náà ọ̀dà information àwọn èèyàn máa lò. FSCC kò ń ṣe kinní kan kò wà kinní kan ẹ ṣàfihàn ó dẹ fún wa ní template mi. Ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan la gbọ́ nísìnyí tó ń rán ní kọ́rọ́ǹsì tiwọn àbí gbogbo mò ń bọ̀ padà lórí fídíò yìí. Bóun la rí ṣe bóun la rí ní bíbá yẹn close the I have too many things open ẹ ká close díẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àti sọ̀rọ̀ Mustalab àdèmà open phone line nísìnyí mò ń bọ̀. Ṣèbí nà ìbọ̀lá tí wò ó òun lélẹ̀ Somaliland wọ́n ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tiwọn wọ́n ṣèbí mo sọ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé Ogun State lásán láti máa lọ mú ká mú Ogun State ká máa rán ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wa níbẹ̀ ẹ tó bá máa gbọ́ ẹ tó bá ní gbọ́ kò ní gbọ́. Ṣèbí mo ti sọ ayé lórí platform yìí rí abẹ́ ti gbàgbé. Somaliland run gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tí wọ́n nísìn they are not recognized láti 1991 but wọ́n dìbò wọ́n dẹ̀ run gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wọ́n dẹ̀ ní military tí wọ́n. Tó bá jẹ́ pé Ogun State tí mo mọ̀ pé state tèmi ni kí wọ́n bá dárúkọ state ẹlòmíì nísìn tó bá jẹ́ pé Ogun State ni ká mú Ogun State náà ká máa fi operate ká sọ di country tiwa tó bá dẹ̀ yá a máa mọ bá ṣe máa mú territory tó kù we start from somewhere kò ń ṣe pé kíyàn kan wá náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ nǹkan kan ẹ wá sọ pé ẹ̀ mọ́ rí. Ẹ̀yin tá mọ̀ yẹn kọ́ ń bolẹ̀ wà ẹni tá kówó fún nísìn ní Canada nísìn tówó há sọ̀hún nísìn kọ́ tówó ti há sọ̀hún ẹni kó irọ́ ni mo pa ẹni kọ́ jáde kọ́ sọ pé irọ́ ni mo pa owó ti há sí Canada báyìí nísìn kọ́lọ̀ bá wa yọ owó yẹn jáde ó ti hang sí Canada one bastard ní kúre gbogbo yín èpè lẹ́ máa gbà ẹ jẹ́ ká wọ 2025 ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ́dún ìpínlẹ̀ tán ẹ̀yin tó fẹ́ múra àjò yẹn ẹ fẹ́ fàágùn bí iná kọ́rọ́lọ́ ká jókòó ká máa pariwo lórí social media ká ní káwọn èèyàn dáwó ó wá di pé a fẹ́ gbowó nísìn wọ́n nídìí owó wá hang ṣó yẹ kówó máa hang ṣó jẹ́ kówó ọmọ Yorùbá hang ẹ tí mọ̀ kankan ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gbọ́ fídíò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Mo ní Tinubu bàbá Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ó ti kó wa wọ problem àmọ́ tó lọ bá France sọ èmi kọ́ mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn first post àwọn lọ release fídíò yìí wọ́n ní Niger kò ń ṣe Niger State o àbí Niger rẹ̀ ni Niger accuses Nigeria of destabilization ẹ̀ẹ́dà pẹ̀ mọ́ tó mean by colluding with foreign partners àbí foreign players. Tinubu ti collude pẹ̀lú àwọn foreign players àwọn wo ni foreign players àwọn wo ni foreign players and this is why we are saying that ní time a gbọ́dọ̀ ní recognition yẹn kíákíá látọ̀dọ̀ Donald Trump torí àmọ́ bí tí bàbá Tinubu ń kó wa lọ báyìí as it stand right now pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà we don't even know we have no idea we have no clue because if you are colluding to destabilize another country that country has every right to fight back in tó ń fàjà lọ́wọ́ pẹ̀lú Russia àti Ukraine lẹ́ ń gbọ́ yẹn because Ukraine we have the right to defend our territory. Russia ní àwọn náà máa bá yín jà ó wá dìjà bombas. So ṣé tí Niger nísìn tí tán attack wọn ṣé ẹ fẹ́ kí Niger tó fold hands wọn? I'm asking, do you want Niger to fold their hands while Nigeria is used to destabilize their territory? Àdèmọ́ ó dà ọmọdún tó ń pè ní Niger. Niger làwọn ìlú tí ó wà ní borderline wa ọmọdún tó ń pè ní Niger, the official republic of Niger, is a landlocked country in West Africa. It is a unitary state bordered by Libya to the northeast, Chad to the east, Nigeria to the south. Nigeria ló máa ṣe kí ni ló máa fún ní gbàsígbòs. And we are telling our people that àmọ́ bí tí Tinubu kó wa lọ báyìí pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ Niger. There is a big massive problem. Òun lè rí tó tún kọ sí ní news yìí. Nigeria accused of collaborating with foreign powers to destabilize Niger. 21st of December 2024. Èmi kọ́ ni mo kọ. Business Inside Africa ló kọ. News ìtijọ́ kẹta lélẹ̀ sẹ́yìn 72 hours. So ìwọ tó ń rò pé wàhálà ò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà, Tinubu ti lọ kó wàhálà jáde tí ó ń bọ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà, kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Yorùbá nation, kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Biafra. Nigeria-Niger border neighbor is being suspected and accused of sabotaging a pipeline. Tinubu ti ní kó lọ blow pipeline. Tinubu dẹ̀ náà wò mọ́ kọ́kọ́ nípa àwọn náà ti release statement. Báyọ̀ Ọ̀nànúgà ti release statement. But àwọn Niger náà wọ́n believe Tinubu pé irọ́ ló ń pa, irọ́ ti pọ̀jù lẹ́nu ẹ̀. Pé Jagaban irọ́ ló ń pa. Bó ṣe dé náà nìyẹn nígbà tó di president tó ń ṣe gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́ tó náà máa bá wa jà nígbà tí wọ́n yọ president wọn ìyẹn tó wà ń bẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ prophet àwọn West. The government of Niger recently levied accusation against Nigeria of acting as a base for destabilizing actions, purportedly with the help of former Nigerian government officials and outside forces. Niger alleged that Nigeria was involved in the recent pipeline vandalism it suffered. Tó bá ti blow pipeline wọ́n máa blow tọ̀dọ̀ tí yín gbógun ṣe rí nìyẹn. Má máa ní àwa là ń gbógun bọ̀. Listen, most of you don't understand how diplomacies work. Ìyẹn la ṣe sáré pé Trump pé kó jọ kó ṣe gbogbo tó lè ṣe. We need his help. Ilẹ̀ dẹ̀ ti ń ṣú, mo gbọ́dọ̀ reduce voice mi díẹ̀. And this is why we are shouting, Yoruba nation now, not tomorrow. Yoruba nation now. Because àmọ́ ìgbésẹ̀ tí Tinubu ń gbé lọ báyìí nísìn tó bá dá pàó nísìn Tinubu máa lọ on exile just like Syria. Bashar ó ti wà ní Russia nísìn, ó ní gold, ó lówó lọ́wọ́, gbogbo nǹkan ló ní, ó ń gbé ní Russia, wọ́n ti fún asylum. Bọ́pẹ́ tí wọ́n bá ṣẹlẹ̀ pàó nísìn Tinubu náà àtàwọn ọmọ alọ jókòó sí Russia àbí wá lọ jókòó sí France, wọ́n máa fún wọn ní asylum níbẹ̀. Owó dẹ̀wà tó máa ná tó máa fi kú. Èmi àti ẹni sì wà nínú problem. Adẹ̀ ń pariwo pé problem ká pariwo ẹ̀ síta ní kíákíá oníká ṣọ́tọ̀. Ṣé mi náà mo ti sọ lé? Torí pé ẹni Koiki ló máa ń gbé bad news. Ẹni gbogbo platform is always about bad news about Nigeria. Ṣé mi ni mo ní kí Tinubu lọ tọwọ́ bọ bad news wá nísìn tí mo sọ fún yín? Bomb bastard ẹni ṣoríire kó máa pa gbogbo yín ni. Despite effort to normalize relations, we regret that Nigeria has not given up on serving as a real base for the destabilization of Republic of Niger, with the complicity of some foreign powers and officials of former regime to whom it offers refuge. Wọ́n ní Tinubu fún wọn ní refuge. A local broadcaster quoted Nigerian Foreign Minister Bakari Yao Sagari as saying, Recent revelations point to a certain complicity of Nigerian security apparatus in the pipeline attack, the foreign minister added. However, Nigeria has denied these allegations, noting that it was not involved in the attack of the Niger-Benin oil pipeline in Gaya, Dosu region of Niger Republic. Ní December 13 yìí, ta ló wá lọ bọ́m̀bẹ̀, ta ló ju nǹkan síbẹ̀ tó fi di kó laná, tó bá ju tiwọn náà padà nísìn, olúkálukú má sọ pé báyìí ló ṣe rí tàmọ̀dù, ẹ pé Tinubu mọ́ra, kó tètè mú tó máa ṣe, ẹja gbọ́ ilé mọ̀ bọ̀.
Shifting focus to West Africa now, where a rift between neighbors Niger and Nigeria is widening. In the latest, the junta-ruled Niger has accused Nigeria of colluding with foreign powers to destabilize its neighbor. Niger's junta has claimed that Nigeria is acting as a base for destabilizing actions and that Abuja was involved in a recent pipeline vandalism that Niamey suffered. Niger also summoned the Nigerian envoy over the latest allegations. Earlier this month, Niger-Benin oil pipeline was attacked in Niger's Dosso region. Niger had claimed that forces based in Nigeria had assisted the Lukarwara terrorist group that attacked the pipeline. Responding to Niger's charge, Nigeria refuted its involvement in the pipeline attack. Abuja said that the attackers were neither backed nor assisted by Nigerian authorities. Niger also accused its former colonial ruler France of complicity with Nigeria and said that its neighbor had offered refuge to some French officials. To this, the Nigerian government said that there were no French troops in the northern part of its territory. Its foreign ministry said that the allegations were unfounded and should be disregarded. Ties between these two West African neighbors have been strained since a 2023 military coup in Niger ousted the president Mohamed Bazoum. The Western pro-West regional organization, the ECOWAS, promptly imposed sanctions on Niger. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, who is the current chairman of the ECOWAS bloc, briefly considered a military intervention to restore the ousted President Bazoum, further stoking tension.
Gbogbo òyìnbó tó ń sọ kí n tó ń sọ ni pé nígbà tí wọ́n yọ president wọn tó ousted Tinubu náà ń gbógun lọ àwọn ẹni náà sọ pé tó bá gbógun wọn àwọn náà ń gbógun bọ̀ wá bẹ́ẹ̀ Tinubu sáré padà sẹ́yìn díẹ̀ náà wọ́n ní Tinubu ti lọ kó àwọn France wá tó wá tọwọ́ bọ pipeline àwọn tí wọ́n dẹ̀ fi support àwọn terrorists ẹgbọ́n kan tó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ṣé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Nàìjíríà tó support terrorists ni what's going on? Koikimedia bringing the work closer to your doorstep. Emma Bino, the phone line is open. Let's come back out now if you want to call in because 3 hours now, I'm not going to extend it at any point at all. So if you're going to call in now, this is the time to come and add your own little input to the discussion. Happy issue day. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń celebrate Christmas pé aṣọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún Ọlọ́run ṣe lè ní àṣemọ̀ fún wa gbogbo àwa tí àwọn ń pe Ọlọ́run fún kọ̀ọ̀kan ní ọdún 2025 àti ẹni tó fẹ́ àtẹni tó fẹ́ kọ́lọ́run kó jọ kó ṣàánú gbogbo wa as we go into 2025. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa nísìnyí a máa pe yín orúkọ yín ní méjì mẹ́ta bọ̀ tí ẹ̀yin náà bá ní ihun tí ẹ fẹ́ fi bá wa dá sétò náà nọ́mbà náà ni ó wà lójú fọ́nrán yín tá a pè ní +4474 04405 gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti mọ̀ lórí ìkànnì wa níbi pé Yorùbá Nation làwa gbójúlé àgbójúlé kankan a mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run ló ń rìnrìn àjò yìí kò dẹ̀ ní fi wá sílẹ̀ gbogbo ọ̀nà tí ó máa fi yé wa tá máa fi tètè kúrò ní Nàìjíríà lọ́lọ́run máa ṣe fún wa gbogbo àwọn tó wá fi dọwọ́ rú tí wọ́n ń fà sí ilẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń criticize tí ẹ pé bí a bá ń ṣe nǹkan àwọn máa mú mẹ́ta wálẹ̀ Yorùbá Nation gbogbo wa lájọ ní kò ń ṣèyàn kan ló ní everybody ló ní so tẹ́yìn kan bá wá ní bó ṣe ń ṣe yìí kò tẹ́yìn lọ́rùn ṣèbí mídíà nísìn olúkálukú ló ní mídíà tiẹ̀ tó ń sọ oríṣiríṣi ẹlòmíì á sọ lọ báyìí èmi náà sọ tèmi náà so tá bá délẹ̀ lérí the government will make what we call policies láti fi control gbogbo in tí ó jẹ́ ká sọ àti tí kò jẹ́ ká sọ but ẹ bá ní ẹ fẹ́ tako gbogbo nǹkan nísìn á fa delay gan á fa kí ni mo sọ á fa delay wọn á lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mú kí Professor Adebanji Akitoye for the great job you are doing for us we are happy with you and we will continue to give you all the support but it seems that there are some element of people that also are doing everything to destabilize the movement. Dúpọ̀ Onítìrí did the same thing bá ṣe fún pé kó wá nìyẹn tó wá tó manipulate wa tó mú gbogbo manipulation ẹ̀ at the end of the day they are hanged kò rí kankan ṣe láti April tọ́nà ti gba country kò sí currency kò sí passport kò sí government ṣèbí Somaliland látẹ̀gbọ́n nísìn àwọn ti ní government wọ́n ní currency wọ́n ní passport wọ́n ní sójà wọ́n ní ọlọ́pàá so gbogbo ilé náà la ṣe ń sọ fún la ṣe ń ran àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́wọ́ pé let us plan ahead to support our leaders in the movement and as we're winding down like I said at exactly 30 minutes from now which is 9:30 I will end this broadcast and then we will take a break for the next couple of days until we might be back again but gbogbo èèyàn tí ó bá ń gbọ́ wa ẹ má ká fi gbígbàdúrà sílẹ̀ yes we must continue to pray but we must not just pray and fold our hands we must also do whatever we need to do. Mo kí àwa Esther Olúṣeun wọn ní Yorùbá Nation is fair no going back the devil is a liar the good Lord will make it happen very soon and I totally agree with that. Okay Oluwole well done our dear brother Koiki. This man say Nigeria needs the courage to dissolve peacefully by our leader, Professor Adebanjo Akintoye, Dr. Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, and the Yoruba Nation Youth Self-Determination YND. Freedom is prosperity. Molobe Muki, Mr. Shegun Kende, any Yoruba Nation now, not going back. Dennis, we should not listen to those negative people. They are being paid to destroy the agitation. I'm not doubt about it. Muki, Aziz Shakiru, Olakunle Muki, Benny, Owó ti hang sí Canada, I'll leave it like that. So we're in the big deep shit. Owó tó hang. Yawa Doris Akinagba, Eshegon, Northern Cyprus country only has UNDP. Mo bá grandma kan sọ̀rọ̀ ní àná, wọ́n ní kéèyàn kan pè mí, wọ́n fi nǹkan ránṣẹ́ sí wa. Mo wá ní privilege láti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. She came to this country in 1963. She returned back to Nigeria in 1969. She came back here in 1970 something, and she has been here since then. 1963 ni grandma ti kọ́kọ́ wá sílùú. Ànígbà yẹn kò tẹ̀dà ìbáwá ta dé nísìn àwọn tẹ̀ ń gbádùn. Ẹ lè imagine bí nǹkan ṣe rí nígbà yẹn ní 1963. The suffering. Mo tí ní time ní ẹ kí n ti release video náà ti Baba Prince Dapo tí a lọ gba ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn. I've been very busy, so kò jẹ́ kí n ti ráyè release video yẹn. Mo kí Olakunle, mo kí Mr. Bamidele Ali. Anyone who wants to destroy this movement, they will not be okay. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, but they destroy us. Lọ́nà tí ìbá ṣe wà ní movement. Bí àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé, okay, mọ Bishop, pé Bishop, àti pé Bishop kò dá yín lóhùn. Bishop lè máa pè tó ní dá yín lóhùn. I met Bishop in 2021. Ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ló ṣe pẹ̀lú bàbá olóyè. Ẹni tí spirit ọba dá olóyè ní ilé kó dúró kó sùn sínú ilé. Tí spirit ọba dá olóyè máa wọ́gbọ́n á sọ pé bí a kẹ lọ náà kẹ padà wá. Ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ló wá lò lọ́dọ̀ wa ní 2021. Kò dẹ̀ tí sọ̀rọ̀ rúbà ní 2021. Ṣé kí n lọ mú picture yẹn jáde? Ó wà lọ́wọ́ mi o. Èmi àti Bishop àti Dr. ní Lekki, màmá náà nísìnà ọ̀pọ̀ ṣe parọ́ màmá yẹn náà nìyẹn, ọkọ̀ owó fún màmá yẹn and all that nonsense. Orúkọ wọn tẹ̀ máa mú orúkọ wọn jáde nísìn. Wọ́n lọ wọnú group tí màá tí wọ́n jọ wà. Bọ́ ṣe fẹ́ destroy màmá yẹn náà nìyẹn. Àwa tí a gbé movement dání bẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ ní gbọ́ sí yín lẹ́nu ni because ẹlòmíì ò ní kankan tó fi offer. Ẹ fún wa ní alternative. Ṣèbí báńkì kankan ló ń operate. Tí Bishop bá ń ṣe tiẹ̀, ó yẹ káyìn nílà káyì pé ó yẹ káwa náà ṣe míì. Ta tún lè fi bíìtì tí Bishop ń ṣe tó dẹ̀ máa wà valuable fún wa. A náà fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, gbogbo tó bá gbà lá máa fún. Tó bá yẹ pé àní lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà mọ̀ ní ká wá bá ṣe nínú owó Nàìjíríà. Ìfowó tá à ń ná ló sì ń jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà exist. Àwa diaspora dẹ̀ là ń náwó tó pọ̀ jù. Èèyàn mélòó ló lówó mọ́ ní Nàìjíríà nísìn? Olówó gan Tinubu gan ẹ lọ gbọ́ press kiri mi kàn fún kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Tinubu. Ẹ lọ gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ pẹ̀lú àwọn media press tó ṣe ní àná abíjẹta kọ́ ni. Ṣé lọ mú orúkọ ọmọ mi wá? Very hard working, ìyá náà àjọ wà nínú movement yìí láti 2021. 2021 ọ̀rọ̀ rúbọ̀ ti jáde. Ṣèbígbà tẹ́mi náà lọ́lé ní 2021 ni mo ní ká ṣe rédíò. Kó tó di pé fẹ́ da ẹ mú gbogbo ẹ̀fọ́ lójú ẹ̀ dàrú. Ẹ ṣe sọ pé mi náà ẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣe pé mo kówó jẹ náà ní nígbà yẹn. Tó lórí burúkú professor tó pè rẹ̀ ní professor tó ń ṣe professor Wálé Adéníran tó ní kú sí ìdáṣọ ẹ̀wà bàbá òfò yẹn. Tó mú gbogbo ẹ̀ tó turn upside down òun àti Maxwell. Ṣèbí 2021 tèmi náà lọ́lé ní ọ̀rọ̀ rédíò jáde. 2021 tí mo lọ́lé mo ní ká dá bọ́ọ̀sì tí wọ́n mú gbogbo ẹ̀ tó fọ́ lójú tí go àti GoFundMe tí Marlene àbí kí ni ẹ pé rẹ̀ tó náà máa fẹ́mi àti Ìgbòho ní owó ká wọ́n máa fún wa lówó díẹ̀ fáwọn security ní rédíò náà lọ. Àwa orúkọ Ìgbòho ló fi raise owó tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ jágbajàgba jógbòdògbò tó lókàlù tó ń sọ tiẹ̀ nìkan owó wọn. Ẹ ṣàfẹ́ mú movement ẹ ṣàfẹ́ dájú ẹ̀ wálẹ̀. Ẹ tuntun fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ again. Ẹ fẹ́ rúbà ẹ fún wa lọ́pṣọ̀nì míì àwa sì máa polówó rúbà. tí bishop bá sá lọ àfi sórí Interpol tó bá ti sá lọ àfi sórí Interpol pé àwọn arákùnrin yìí kò lè ní ibikíbi tó bá wà ìbára mu jáde. Jàgbàjàgbà jògbòjògbò ní àkàn wá bẹ́ẹ̀ pè mí á pè máa fún ní sí burúkú ni ẹ fẹ́ mú ṣe bàbá Akíntóyè ẹ fẹ́ dá wálẹ̀. Mo ní àwa máa support YSDN torí bàbá Akíntóyè ní chairman kò ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà níbẹ̀ lẹ fi ṣe dìní fún àbẹ́fẹ́ dáwọ́rú ṣé ilẹ̀ ṣé wọ́n ṣe dáwọ́rú ni ṣé gbà tí wọ́n ṣe Yorùbá World Congress wọ́n dáwọ́rú Tajudeen Rahim olórí burúkú bọ́n bá sa tó náà lòmí wá sí Yorùbá ní tukó ní kó síbi táṣọ wa ibo ló wà ní sí olóṣì tó support Tinubu Tajudeen Rahim ibo ló wà ní sí olórí burúkú rẹ̀ níbo ló wà ní sí mo kí Ajare Abdullahi níbo ni Tajudeen wà Tajudeen Rahim ẹ ti gbàgbé ẹ̀ òun àti òkè bí ọ̀run kò sí àti Sister Bukky àwọn lọ́lọ́ fọ́ port níwájú parliament níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn àṣọ ṣe máa tẹ̀lé Tinubu lọ níbo ló wà nísìn ẹni ẹ̀ mọ̀ bíṣọ̀pù rẹ̀ ẹ lọ Nàìjíríà náà kẹ lọ bá bíṣọ̀pù náà kẹ bá ṣe mítìn àbí kẹ fi pàdé sí Benin Republic ẹ fi pàdé sí Benin Republic náà kẹ lọ bá bí kẹ lọ bá ń bẹ̀ ó kò létí data àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ara ń tán sọ fún yín ó wà pé fóònù mi mo fi ń ṣe mo rẹ̀ fi ẹ́ẹ̀dì Twitter yẹn mẹ́sẹ̀jì ń bá kà fún yín sẹ́ni nọ́nsẹ̀nsì ni ẹ wojú èmi dáadáa o kò wojú ṣe rárá o bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho lèmi ṣiṣẹ́ fún gbogbo àwọn pápọ̀ akàn support YSDN kankan yẹn torí pé bàbá Akíntóyè tó wà involve ni o torí bàbá Akíntóyè tó wà involve ni o. Owó náà la fẹ́ raise nísìn ẹ àríbi raise owó mọ́ nísìn owó tí gbogbo ẹ ti hang láti bí almost 3 months nísìn gbogbo ẹ ti hang kò sí kankan tó ń lọ mọ́ àrówó gbà ibi tá a ti máa gbowó gbogbo ẹ ti hang ẹ ti fọ́ gbogbo ẹ lójú. Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ raise owó nígbà tí níbi tí a ti fẹ́ gbowó gan ilé iṣẹ́ tó máa fi owó sí ó ti hang níbi tó máa fowó sí ó ti hang ṣébi tó bá hang yẹn àwọn tó fẹ́ dá àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ dáwó ìyá kan sì pè mí lẹ́nìí Koiki ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ a fẹ́ dáwó àríbi dáwó sí ọ̀tọ̀ lówó táwa náà kọ́ fún àwa owó tó máa dá sínú movement à ń sọ nísìn ọ̀ríbi dá sí. Gbogbo àìdíà tá a mú wá tó ń fún bàbá tó bá ti mú fún bàbá báyìí ẹ̀wọ̀n kan tún lọ wá dàrú a tún lọ bá bàbá tèmi bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ló ń bọ́ lóyè náà nìyẹn èmi á ṣe program tó wá lọ máa bọ́ lóyè pé ṣé ó rán mi iṣẹ́ èbí mo ti ń ṣe movement kó lóyè tó dé olóyè kọ́ olóyè ló wá crown effort gbogbo ní táwa ń ṣe ìbá tí ń ṣe wa tí ń pariwo Yorùbá nation kí bàbá mi tó lóyè tó dé ìbí mi ti ń pariwo Yorùbá nation gbòbí gbogbo wa etí ń dùn ẹ ìṣòwò àlétí ẹ o mọjọ tó lóyè pé sórí show mi ìbí mo ti ń sọ Yorùbá nation kí bàbá olóyè tó dé olóyè ló kọ́ wa crown effort yẹn torí bàbá àbá máa pariwo dọ̀la without òun kò lè possible ó wá crown effort wa ó crown effort bàbá Akíntóyè akíkanjú ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ fẹ́ mú rin àjò fẹ́ bàjẹ́ 2025 tẹ́ ẹ bá ṣọ́ra ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pera yín ní YSDN yẹn tẹ́ ẹ bá ṣọ́ra gidi tẹ́yìn bá ní another template ẹ fún wa ní template yẹn template lèmi fẹ́ rí nísìn strategy kan mo mú wá nísìn báwo la ṣe máa bá Trump sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ gbà ṣé tí Trump bá ní ká pàdé òun ní Houston gbólógbóló nísìn tẹ́yìn tẹ́ fẹ́ lọ tẹ́ lówó lọ́wọ́ ṣèbí movement lẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ máa náwó movement tó lè yọ $1,000 kàfi sáré rìnrìn àjò nísìn tẹ́mi bá dáa fẹ́ tẹ́mi tó tẹ̀ ṣe ẹni tó bá ná fẹ́ ṣe kankan nísìn ṣé movement yìí lè mú $1,000 jáde ṣá lè mú $1,000 jáde ẹ jẹ́ wà kíáfù gbogbo owó kan tó ṣì yá nísìn àmọ́ bá ṣe fẹ́ gbà yín lọ́wọ́ ẹni tó wá sí lọ́wọ́ báyìí nísìn tó sọ rẹ̀ di King Kong ní lílé ayé náà dẹ̀ ẹ̀yin kọ́ lẹ lówó ẹ bá tí wọ́n bá tẹ̀ ní dispute ẹ máa wo ti ọlá Yorùbá tí gbogbo àjọ gbé dání nígbà tó náà mi kówó jẹ àwọn èèyàn èmi dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé mo kówó jẹ gbogbo owó tán ní ká gbà á kó síbi tó yẹ ká kó sí níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn nígbà tá a gbowó rédíò olúkálukú kàn ń yọ tó ń ṣe tẹ́tẹ́tẹ́tẹ́tẹ́ ẹ̀yin ọmọ àlè tí yà ń jẹ nínú ilé yín ó tọ́kì wa nu fíríjì tèmi ṣé n fi wọ̀n mo ní láti fi wọ̀n tọ́kì wa ń bẹ̀ Christmas Muslim lèmi èmi ṣe Christmas iná ń tàn yamayama tí bá paná nísìn bá paná pálọ̀ mi àwa ní Christmas light ó ẹni ṣó ni ẹ máa lọ ṣẹ̀ sí ẹ̀sìn tó ń kó bá yín torí iná Christmas mi ló tàn nínú ilé mi èmi ti tán náà Christmas mi ti kàn mí o èmi ṣọdún náà tèmi ọdún bá bá láyé ló ń ṣọdún o èyí náà Christmas mi ló tàn sálálálá yẹn èmi ṣọdún lọ nìyẹn dókítà máa jẹ ó ti wà nù lé ó ti wà nù fridge ẹ̀dí fún ìyàwó mi lówó kó tún lọ ra àwọn ribs tó dáa torí lọ́la máa yan á máa gbọ́ ẹran yẹn ìyá yìí ní kí ẹ̀yin ní kẹ́ jẹ́ ká tètè mọ̀ tá à ń ṣe tó mo kí ọgbọ́n èèyàn gidi tó ìnà àmì ṣe lásán a máa délẹ̀ lérí ṣọmọ ló kù bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tó fẹ́ bọ́pọ̀ àwa la ní síyá àgbẹ̀yìn ó lè ti hang ni some system function will not be available gan ti overwork lọ́n kó ṣàmì gbogbo ilé náà nísìn láti fẹ́ aláti gẹ́ẹ̀tì fọ́ọ̀mù tuntun kò ní lóye àlè máa ṣe program ká máa get stock orí fóònù ti hang nísìn. You all right? Turn the light on back for me, please. Àmì tó ṣe fóònù ti hang nísìn. So mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa mo kí wa since tá a lẹ́nu tó máa pè wá so ká máa end the program lọ díẹ̀díẹ̀ àníṣe lásán gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ dàrú ìbá ilé mi ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ mídíà ó dúró tán páká fún movement yìí mo sọ fún yín Yorùbá world media wọ́n dúró páká mo wà lẹ́yìn wọn mo lè dá dúró as an independent ẹ wá ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ètò important nìyẹn mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ràn wá lọ́wọ́ àtẹ̀yìntẹ̀ tún máa ní ọkàn pé ẹ máa ran iléeṣẹ́ yìí lọ́wọ́ mo kí gbogbo wa mo kí Mr. Ademoye Haruna wọ́n ní we need idealist people to prioritize this movement. Let's stop thinking downwardly. Nígbà tí yàn kan think upward, táwọn kan fi fà wálẹ̀. Bí èdè Fúlàní dẹ̀ ti mẹ́rin. Èdè Fúlàní ò dẹ̀ lè má wa o. Àwọn ò lè máa ṣàdúrà lójoojúmọ́ kéde Fúlàní mú wa. Láyé Fúlàní àlọ́ lọ mú ẹlòmíì ni. Kò ṣe báwa ló máa mú. Ṣé mo kí gbogbo amú kí mo sì ní? Àmọ́ tó ṣe Twitter mi gbogbo ti hang. Àdánù. Ẹ̀rù ti pọ̀ jù lórí fóònù yẹn. Ẹ̀yọ́ mọ̀ pé fóònù táwa ń lò ó yàtọ̀ sí fóònù tẹ́yìn ń lò messages táwa ń receive ó yàtọ̀ sí message tẹ́yìn ń receive ẹ̀yin tẹ́ pé èèyàn mélòó ló ń pè yín ẹ̀mọ èèyàn tó ń pè wá lójoojúmọ́ ti hang nísìn mo rojú ìfẹ́ ọmọ báyìí wọn kò ṣàmì let me stop the broadcast ìgbàdàn wa stop the show stop it it's okay so àníṣe lásán ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ a máa jọ débẹ̀ ni a máa délẹ̀ lérí. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá náà ní débẹ̀ àwọn ọlọ́ọ̀ni bára débẹ̀ hello ta ló ń pè wá hello ẹ̀fẹ́ dá sórí ètò ni àbẹ̀kọ̀ ń pè mí privately ọyẹ gbóhùn sókè díẹ̀ nǹkan lẹ jẹ́ kí fóònù kan hang studio number la ní kẹ́ máa pè ẹ̀yin kan báyìí náà gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ń pè wá ibi screen ẹ̀ ń wo nọ́mbà lórí screen yẹn ẹ̀ save yẹn ìyẹn lẹ máa wá pè wá sí bẹ́ẹ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu ìwé ti pè sórí eléyìí níta bá ní káyìn náà ṣe ni kẹ́ bá wa ṣe kó lè jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ yẹ kó lè jẹ́ kó yá fún gbogbo wa ìyẹn la ṣe fi nọ́mbà yẹn àfi tó bá pàwọn èèyàn rí kan tó increase front ẹ̀ bọ̀ ẹgbọ́n sókè ṣá à ń increase no problem ẹgbọ́n sókè mo gbọ́ yín.
ní kúkúrú ẹ ti sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún akitiyan yín content man tí ẹ bá dẹ̀ ti fẹ́ ṣàṣeyọrí láyé yìí ẹ̀wọ̀n kan wà wọn ò níbi kankan lọ máa dàrú ni wọn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Máa dàrú àwa wà ní movement ìdí wà ní movement ìyàwó òdẹ̀dẹ̀ ìlàwọ̀ àgbẹ̀
thank you so much.
àwọn òdẹ̀dẹ̀ ìsàlẹ̀
ìnáwó
ọ̀nọ́ra mi wọ́n bá dẹ̀ kọ́ jáde máa jáde.
wọ́n jẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ̀ ní láti sọ fún wa mo mọ̀ dájú bọ̀ mo gbádùn yín brọ́dà mi ẹ ṣe gan ni.
ṣe rí tó bá kákòókò tí bí iṣẹ́ yìí ti ń wúlò tún ti kọ́ ọ security mi jọ yẹn kó máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ nígbà tó bá kákòókò. wàhálà ẹ̀jẹ̀ kọ́ máa play game lọ àwa la máa rẹ̀ tẹ̀ sí àgbẹ̀.
lágbára Ọlọ́run lágbára Ọlọ́run lágbára Ọlọ́run.
ṣe rí bíbélì orí láàrin àwọn èèyàn mi àwọn èèyàn ìka wà bẹ́ẹ̀.
oh yes.
mo ṣe gbogbo èèyàn lọ sí tọkàntọkàn àwọn kan wà position lọ wá lọ́dọ̀ bàtí ní position wọn kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. àwọn kan lè wà pé wọ́n fẹ́ invest ní pé ètí bá gbówó ilẹ̀ kí lè máa fún mi tá a bá gbà tán. àwọn yóò sí lára gbogbo àwọn yóò sí lára wọn.
lókè gbàǹtẹ̀ wà lókè ògùn. mo ń gbádùn yín brọ́dà mi.
distracted
Ọ̀dà ǹjọ́ fi ṣe nìyẹn ó tún fẹ́ jẹ́ ká wọnú 2025 ká tún máa wà distracted àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ níwà distracted ìtì máa sọ mo ti sọ yẹn mo ti fẹ́ ìtì máa mú kọ̀wé káwọn ọmọ Yorùbá mọ bó ṣe ń lọ náà ni iye mi.
Ṣẹ̀rí ẹ máa bọ ìsàpẹ́ kìí ṣe fẹ́ kò tọrọ.
Mo gbọ́ yín sà.
Ẹ máa bọ anybody ẹni bá ti ẹ pariwo ẹ̀ síta kọ́ṣẹ́ ìsìn wọn káyé mọ̀ wọ́n ẹ máa bọ̀ wọ́n ìtàbọ̀ oní.
Bó ṣe fi tẹ̀ kó bá wa náà nìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Ẹ máa bọ anybody lẹ́yìn kan bá ti ṣe kọ́ ẹ pariwo ẹ̀ sí gbogbo ayé. Gbogbo ayé mọ̀. Tẹ́lá ti ṣe tá bá ti ṣe bí kẹta mẹ́rin tá a ti lóde anybody ò ní wá mọ́ àwọn òbí tó lè kó bá ti ṣe máa pariwo ẹ̀.
Bó jẹ́ àwa 1000 ló bá kù àwa 1000 yẹn ká dúró dáadáa.
Àwọn tó bá fẹ́ ti gbogbo jẹ́ẹ̀s. Sọ́wọ́n kì í máa bọ anybody bá ti kó fẹ́ máa ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ àbòsí ó fẹ́ máa ṣe kíkọ́ ẹ pariwo ẹ̀ sẹ́ pé lágbájá o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Oníkálùkù àwọn àsòwò àgbẹ̀tẹ̀mọ́wọ́.
Okay. Ẹ ṣe gan. No problem. Ẹ ṣe gan ni brother.
Ẹ bá ti ṣe máa dárúkọ yín. Àdìbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kà fún bẹ́ẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Ẹ ṣe gan ni.
Ẹ bá ti dárúkọ èèyàn méjì ìsàpẹ́ yìí.
Thank you so much.
Right. Ẹ kọ́ máa ní ṣáàtì o. So that she go, ẹ má bọ anybody bá ti tó ń ṣe ohun ọ̀dà ẹ̀ pariwo ẹ̀ síta. Oníṣìí ló padà ṣe lẹ́yà ní sí.
Ìgboro ti fẹ́ níyì. Òun gan sá káàkiri báyìí ni, ó ń daṣọ bojú káàkiri ni, kò lè dárìn. Ibikíbi tó bá wà kò lè dárìn, olórí burúkú wọn bá sà. Mo kí Àṣàkẹ́ TV ṣòwò Akínà, àgbọ́yé bàbá mi, no problem. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Thank you so much. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Thank you so much. Ọmọ Ogun State tó tẹ̀ ń fún àwa máa gbadé lẹ̀ ní Ogun State. No retreat, no surrender. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ẹ bá ń kí àbálòkọ ló dà tẹ́gbọ́n àwọn èèyàn lé. Ẹ ṣé gan ni wọ́n lọ. Ó dà, no problem. No problem. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Lágbájá bó tọ̀ ẹgbàá ìfẹ́ ṣe dárúkọ ẹ̀ bá fún ọ. Mr. Alágbájá gbàgbà alábòsùn ni ẹ́. Kó wá sọ̀rọ̀ kó wá dìbò ọ̀kẹ́ náà.
Àwọn náà jáde. Ẹ ṣé gan ni sir. Thank you so much. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo kí Àṣàkẹ́ TV show, mo kí Azeez Shakiru, mo kí bàbá mi, mo kí Adeleke, gbogbo àwọn òkè Ògùn, bàbá Prophet Adébáyọ̀. Wọ́n ní kẹ́ ẹ múra yín dáadáa o. Wọ́n ní tá bá máa gba Yorùbá nation, ibẹ̀ yẹn gangan ni a gbọ́dọ̀ tidy up dáadáa. Òkè Ògùn yẹn, ẹ má rí mo lè extend the program yìí. Bàbá ara àwọn tó bá ń pè whatever ti pè, kò sí nǹkan tí mo tó fẹ́ sọ, nǹkan tí mo lè máa repeat ara mi. Program tó fi wá ṣe gangan mo ti analyze ẹ̀ dáadáa, ó tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn. Ó dẹ̀ ti yá àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. Ṣé fẹ́ dá sí program ni sir? Ẹ kálẹ́, ṣé fẹ́ dá sórí program ni sir? Àkópalẹ̀ mọ́ ọdún lọ́la. Ẹ fẹ́ dá sí program nìkan mo wà lórí ètò. Ó yẹ gbọ́n sókè ní kí à ń gbọ́ yín. Àwọn èèyàn náà wọ̀n rí nọ́mbà yẹn dáadáa. Ṣé nọ́mbà yóò clear tó ni? Bí a ká tún wá bá ṣe máa change colour yẹn. Ẹ gbọ́n sókè sà. Àwọn èèyàn náà dáhùn rí. Ó wà òkè kó má fi lọ tóbi jù náà nù. A kò cover the screen yẹn. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa rójú mi dáadáa. Wọ́n ní ojú lọ́rọ̀ wà. Mo gbọ́ yín sà. Mo kí àwa Táíwò Kíkẹ́. Wọ́n gbọ́ yín sà.
Mo dá sí programu kan táwọn kan ṣe ní TikTok ní last week.
Okay.
So mo dẹ̀ rí pé tọ́pìkì tí wọ́n ń treat níbẹ̀ òun ni pé bóyá Nàìjíríà something bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹ wọ́n try láti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Nàìjíríà báwo ló ṣe lè work.
Lágbo mélòó.
Bọ̀dé wọ́n try láti kọ́ mi so pé kán gbàgbé nípa Nàìjíríà ọ̀dọ́ ní gbogbo anybody tó wà nínú bíbá yìí. That is work for Yorùbá nation to stand. So but nígbà mo sọ̀rọ̀ wọ oríṣiríṣi gbogbo nǹkan pé àwọn irú wa tí wọ́n bí àwọn bàbá yẹn sọ pé ó máa dá náà ni wọ́n sọ ó dá tó fi wá lè síbẹ̀. Pé ṣé ó dá iná làwa náà tó máa sọ tá a máa fi sọ pé káyé tara wa mọ́. But I see that telling them the truth they are trying to avoid this. So mo notice kódà àwọn olóṣèlú ń gbéṣẹ́ fáwọn kan tó ń jáde láti lè máa kọ́
wọ́n ń gbé fún wọn ní owó burúkú wà lọ́wọ́ olóṣèlú owó burúkú wà lọ́wọ́ wọn àwọn olówó tó ní.
Láti lè máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Nàìjíríà táwọn èèyàn ṣe máa ní ìrètí kan pé maybe Nigeria can still work. Wọ́n sọ pé oríṣiríṣi ìlú ló wà ní London pé bọ̀ wọ́n parapọ̀ wọ́n di ẹyọ kan pé àníbi ara wọ́n tó sọ bó níbẹ̀ yẹn kọ́ ni mò ń lọ. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì náà ni wípé irú eré àgbègbè ibi tí mo wà yìí ẹgẹt dáṣọ owó dé Ẹ̀gbá ní side Ogun State. Owó bá fẹ́ mi owó dé Ẹ̀gbá. Mo ló ti gbé Yorùbá Nation group ó dá ìdá ọ̀bẹ. Ìgbà kan wà tí mo bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn gbà tí mo pè yín. So mo lọ méjì àwọn kan tí mo gbọ́ pé wọ́n ṣe Yorùbá Nation board. Ìbẹ̀rù ò jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè gbójú jáde mọ́. So ní kálukú ti fọ́nká. Kí ló dẹ̀ fa ni pé tọ́rọ̀ bá dọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́pàá? Ẹni ọjọ́ mẹ́ta mo ní ìṣù pẹ̀lú àwọn ọlọ́pàá wọn yẹn. Èmi tí mo mú rìpọ́ọ̀tù lọ ni wọ́n tó padà fi ìyà jẹ. So bẹ́ẹ̀ that's Nigeria. Ẹnìkan jí fóònù mo lọ rìpọ́ọ̀tù ọ̀dọ̀ ṣe àdẹ́nàbìdì fóònù àlùkò ló sọnù ọlọ́pàá ló sọ pé kí n lọ fi ra tuntun padà. Evidence pé fóònù sọnù pé ní yẹn ò lè prove pẹ̀. So ẹ mọ̀ receipt nǹkan kò sí receipt mi dẹ̀ lọ ra fóònù tuntun pẹ̀lú receipt ìfẹ́ni tí ẹ mọ̀. So èmi náà mo ń try láti confuse àwọn èèyàn nípa Yorùbá Nation or something like that but àwọn sóòsì téèyàn bá tún gbé sí àwọn nǹkan kan tí àwọn olóṣèlú bẹ̀rẹ̀ máa fi ìyà jẹ èèyàn kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ gba èèyàn lẹ́ta ni mo fẹ́ pè. Ṣé mọ̀ eré àbíta wà ó sò dáadáa mo fẹ́ kọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá kan jọ kí wọ́n fi ẹ̀mí àti ara kí wọ́n jẹ́ ká fi ja ìjàngbara yẹn so that ìyà wa tí ìyà ń gbèrò yìí à lè bọ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyà ìjọba. Mẹ̀kúnnù ń sọ́fà o. Ọjọ́ àwọn tó ń ṣe tó bá ti ṣe nǹkan tí ò dá ẹgbẹ́ wọn síta. Then àwọn tó ń ṣe ká má jẹ́ kó rẹ̀ wọ́n Yorùbá Nation máa dúró ó pẹ́ ó yá.
Fight to finish and don't bear account number no allow screen yẹn farabalẹ̀ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ síta fight to finish ni no retreat no surrender ni no retreat no surrender ni. Wow.
Ọlọ́run fọwọ́ sí ọ̀nà bá rẹ̀ tó sì sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Nàìjíríà fún onífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run ló bá Nàìjíríà lọ.
Lágbo mélòó Nàìjíríà fún àbá Nàìjíríà ti tán ẹ ṣé gan ni thank you so much ẹ ṣé gan ni. Bínú ilé tèmi náà ṣe ń ṣe yànmùyànmù bóyá kí lè Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan náà ṣe yànmùyànmù kẹ má máa tọrọ owó lórí social media táwa náà bá ti gbà lówà ká lè rí ọ̀nà gbàgbọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí bishop wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ mo bá bishop ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn wá dáadáa náà kẹ tó sọ̀rọ̀ mo bá bishop mo kí jẹnu glasses mo kí Wàlákà olórí ẹbí bàbá mi dáadáa mo kí ìyá mi Olúwaṣeun Ìtùnú ọlọ́àjárí bàbá ókè mo rí ẹ wá ṣe ọlọ́àbá wa pẹ̀lú akópalẹ̀mọ́ ọdún family ni mo kí gbogbo John Ogundele bàbá mo kí bàbá yìí ti gbé ní UK rí kọ́lọ́n tó ní kó padà sílé ó ní bàbá wa kan tí mo máa fẹ́ ṣe program wọn ní tá bá bẹ̀ wọ́n Ọlọ́run á tún kó sí wọn ní wọ́n lè bá wa bá Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀ ó ti send details bàbá yẹn sí mi màá ṣe yẹn níjọ́ mi bàbá wa Bámidélé Mohammed mo kí yín Merry Christmas bíbí báyìí o Muslim àti Christian àjọ celebrate Christmas ní àwọn bá Christian jẹ́ Salami Gbenga mo kí yín ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́nu dúró bẹ́ẹ̀ náà mo kí gbọ́ àwọn tó kù bàbá mi Táíwò Bánú sọ mo rí wọ́n ní all hands to be on deck with diplomatic effort to push for Yorùbá sovereignty Ọlákúnlé Amúdé mo kí Núrìdí mo kí Gbàdàmọ́sí Ismaila mo kí Bishop ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ sọ àtàwọn àlàyé tí ẹ ṣe fáwọn èèyàn. Now, a ní àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó jẹ́ ọ̀tá Yorùbá gangan nínú Yorùbá Nation movement. Àní ipò ni wọ́n dù, ipò ni wọ́n dù. And ó jẹ́ kí àwọn tó jẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́, àwọn tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ Yorùbá gangan láti ṣiṣẹ́ fún Yorùbá kọ́ máa sá sẹ́yìn. Ilé dẹ̀ jẹ́ ìfàsẹ́yìn fún iṣẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè. Bàbá gan is fed up of all these things. Now, ṣe mọ̀ wípé sáìtì wa now wọ́n lọ sí wọ́n san fún IT person ó lọ sí orí I'm talking about RBE Virtual Bank sáìtì wa gangan wọ́n lọ gẹ́tì domain kìíní address wọ́n dẹ̀ lọ make erroneous reports about our site. So mo ti sọ fún IT máa wà náà kó máa report kó wọ́n ti ń dá wọn lóhùn wọ́n ti sọ gbogbo ẹ̀ fún wọn wọ́n send àwọn document regulation kìíní wa fún wọn but mo sọ fún IT yẹn we can't continue with that they give us 48 hours mo ní kó put site yẹn down kó change address wa a new one so àwọn èèyàn wa tó ń lo RBE Virtual Bank ó ṣe ìṣiṣẹ́ o we see ó ṣe ìṣiṣẹ́ o but immediately tomorrow morning tí new address wa bá ti ready a máa switch so that site will not work again. Tó bá ti lọ tí o bá ti ṣiṣẹ́ pé customer care wa a máa fún ẹ ní new site wa tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ dáadọ́. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣe ibi kọ́ máa ṣe lọ. Ọlọ́run ó jẹ́ Ọlọ́run ẹ̀san. Èmi mọ̀ pé àwọn míì wọ́n máa gbé wọn dìgbàdìgbà láti diaspora wálé ni tó ń ṣe wọ́n wọn ò ní mọ̀. Nítorí pé kò sí mo jẹ́ ẹ̀mọ́ ohun tí mo lè sọ wípé kò tá ló máa náwó mọ́ Bishop Adeshina.
Ọmọ.
Tànẹ́ni north tó máa náwó mọ́ ìwọ náà mọ Bishop Adeshina ta ló mọ̀ ẹ́? Ta ló mọ̀ ẹ́ níbi ìjà kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ ibi ìbàyí àríra wa mọ́ra wa. Rálì làwọn ẹlòmíì láti lójú àwọn ẹlòmíì yọ bídíà. Ta ló mọ̀ ẹ́ kí ló ń ṣe fún Yorùbá? Ṣé àwọn tó ń bá bàbá kí tó lè ṣiṣẹ́ ní ọ́fíìsì wọn níbẹ̀ nẹ̀? Ṣé o mọ̀ wọ́n? Ṣé o lè mọ̀ wọ́n? Ṣé o dá ojú wọn mọ̀? Báwo ló ṣe máa jókòó síbi kan tó máa rò wípé àwọn tó wà ní other place wọn láti mọ gbogbo wọn? Because you always come to social media àbí òṣèké àbí mi ò mọ nǹkan tí mo lè sọ but gbogbo kìíní yẹn bàbá náà ti wà wẹ̀ and wọn ò lè máa búlì bàbá yẹn wọn ò lè máa búlì wọn nǹkan tá a ṣe we will continue to do it and I know pé wọ́n ti ń gbé ìgbésẹ̀ àwọn tó ń dọwọ́ rú láàrin wọn Ọlọ́run ló tú àṣírí wọn táwọn èèyàn wa kọ́ máa bẹ̀rù kọ́ máa fòyà we stand firm and Yoruba nation is achievable and we will achieve it. Wọn kì í gba orílẹ̀-èdè automatically. Our people need to come up and understand. Look at Somaliland. Ó ti pátá ti wà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o.
1991, 33 years ago.
Wọ́n wait. Kọ́ ní currency wọn. Wọ́n wait. Kọ́ ní passport wọn. Wọ́n wait. Gbogbo institution wọn. Wọ́n wait. Wọ́n tútọ̀ wọn. Kọ́ rí pé wọ́n stand. Now they can now thought of giving them independence. Ẹ fẹ́ gba independence orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá in this state tó jẹ́ pé ẹ ní anything. Àwọn èèyàn Yorùbá tó tún ní intellectual and this is coming up doing something for Yorùbá. Àwọn wèrè kan fà sẹ́yìn àrà ló máa sọ parí. Mo ti sọ ọmọ ní Yorùbá ló máa bá Yorùbá jà ká má fi bọ̀ òmìnira. Wípé ẹ̀yin kan ẹ dúró síbì kan. Ẹ̀dùn àti ẹ̀mọ̀ ní nílé àmọ̀ kò tẹ́ tó mọ̀ yìí nílé. Ẹ wá ní pé ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀jẹ̀ bá kan. Wọ́n máa gbé yín dìgbàdìgbà wá níwá tírìtì ni. Ẹ̀rẹ̀ ní bọ́ọ̀bẹ̀. Mo ní sọ èmi ò ṣe bíṣọ̀bù Catholic, mo ṣe bíṣọ̀bù Anglican. It's okay, thank you.
All right. Ẹ ṣe gan ni. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ náà mọ bishop ń bọ̀ o ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ bishop ẹ jẹ́ àfi bishop wọ̀nyí so bishop kì í ṣe ghost kódà ẹ rí pé orí Facebook orí fóònù lélẹ́yìí so bọ̀ mo ti post ẹ̀ sórí Facebook this was bishop in 2021 internet ò dẹ̀ ń parọ́ mo ń bọ̀ internet ò fi ṣe kí ni kò ń parọ́ torí pé ẹlòmíì tí a jọ ń ṣe movement gan àmọ́ra wa náà lọ títì ibi inú movement ni gbogbo àti mọ́ra wa ó bọ̀ torí pé ọ̀rọ̀ owó ti wà involve ó ń gbowó ó ń ṣe rúbà private business ẹ̀yin náà ṣe private business yìí náà May 12, 2021 ó ní picture tó wà lọ́wọ́ mi Dr. Koka àti olóyè Ìgbòho lélẹ̀ máa post eléyìí náà nísìn ẹ jẹ́ n lọ sórí Facebook mi kẹ́ lè rí ní tí mo fi ń wọ̀n wá ní background mo ń bọ̀ bí ṣe ń post ẹ̀ a máa wá sórí Facebook mi ẹ jẹ́ lọ sórí Facebook òkùnkùn Dr. Koka ní ẹni tí mo fi rántí very hard-working woman as well ẹ jẹ́ lọ sórí Koiki mo ń bọ̀ Koiki ẹ jẹ́ lọ sí bíbá èyí tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀ Bishop bí a máa gbé this is Bishop èyí tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀ Bishop Adeshina ẹni tó ń pè ní Bishop Adeshina nìyẹn o ń bọ̀ mo fẹ́ mọ̀ another picture mi jáde pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ kan tó ń pè ní ọlá yẹn òun dé láti lára àwọn ó dàbí bí mo ṣe ń bá àwọn tó wà nínú comment section sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí nígbà tí mo lọ́lé nìyẹn gidi mi ló wá bá mi lọ́dọ̀ olóyè Ìgbòho ló di pé òun assist mi bíi kind of personal assistant níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn nígbà tá a wà lọ́dọ̀ olóyè. So ẹ bá wo picture yẹn èmi àti Bishop alele. This was May around Easter time ní 2021 ní Easter but picture yìí orí fóònù mi ó ń show pé May but Easter ni Bishop wá sí ẹ bá dẹ̀ wo another picture tí máa tún post èyí tẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ Bishop bí a kẹ́ screenshot orúkọ screenshot ojú wọn ẹni tẹ́ ń bá ṣe òwò lélẹ̀ wọ́n ní orúkọ ẹ̀ kò wà registered sínú business tó ń ṣe kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó ṣe gbá kò sẹ́ni tó ṣàwo òkú asùn ìkọ́ ọbẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ò rẹ̀ fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní alternative ẹ fún wa alternative so that kí challenge lè wà so that èyí tí Bishop bá tẹ̀ ń ṣe concept tó bá ṣe dáadáa so that a lè ní alternative that is Bishop there Tinubu kọ́ la fẹ́ rí mo ń bọ̀ mo ti post another one ẹ jẹ́ ká refresh because ẹlòmíà kọ́ jókòó ẹ ṣàfihàn mú kan yẹri Bishop lélẹ̀. This was May OLAYOMI KOIKI with Bishop Adeshina on the topic Yoruba raised from the tribe of Isa. Òun lẹ́rìí yo èmi àti Bishop nìyẹn o torí ẹ sọ and Ruba ò dẹ̀ tí jáde rárá kódà mo rò pé Bishop bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ Ruba nígbà tó wáyé mo rò pé a sọ̀rọ̀ dé Ruba mo rò pé a sọ̀rọ̀ dé Ruba kódà àwọn kan tún confirm pé Bishop gan Máyégún ti gbé wọn wá sórí iṣu ẹ̀rí bóyá ọ̀dẹ̀ máa ń lọ sọ́dọ̀ Máyégún ni kódà a sọ̀rọ̀ débi Ruba but ẹ tó bá ní expert in different field he can do a lot tí bá dẹ̀ lọ wá fídíò yìí jáde nísìn May 2021 ta ṣe Easter time lọ wá ṣàfihàn tó bá lè sọgbà tí Easter jẹ́ ní Múkẹ́ Gani Olóyèdé ìgbà tí Easter jẹ́ ní 2021 ṣé March náà ní anyway yẹ so I don't understand why we want to put something down àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀ ṣe èmi àti Ọlání ilé náà Dubai ló wà nígbà tí mo délé ló wá bá mi mo dẹ̀ náà dájọ́ jókòó kájọ máa fà á lọ ẹran tí pọ́n gbóhùn gan òun náà tẹ̀lé sọ́tẹ̀ gbóhùn òun náà tẹ̀lé wọn lọ sọ́tẹ̀ mú òun ṣá nígbà yẹn ṣá mo rò pé mú òun can't remember now tó tẹ̀lé wọn lọ sí Àbújá akú tẹ̀lé wọn lọ sí Àbújá wọn rántí mọ́ kẹrí pé mi nìyẹn yàwá Dr. Coker ló ń jẹ́ tí bá rí group yẹn nísìnyí máa dá wọn mọ̀ nínú group nísìnyí ìyá yìí náà nísìnyí gbogbo Lekki axis yẹn àwọn ló ń bá wa ṣe gbogbo wàhálà níbẹ̀ mo fẹ́ mú orúkọ wọn jáde Dr. Glory Ìbẹ̀jú Lekki àwọn ní number 1 àwa mú movement à ń tò ẹ̀yin kan fẹ́ dàrú ẹ nítorí pé ẹ ti ní bírèdì díẹ̀ kékeré kan wo ẹ jẹ́ lọ ṣe díẹ̀díẹ̀ Dr. Glory òun lè rí yẹn and maybe ẹ lè rò pé ṣe rí pé olóyè nìyẹn pẹ̀lú Dr. Glory ṣe rí pé the same tó bá ti dé bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ rí pé olóyè ṣe jí gan tẹ bá wojú olóyè nínú picture yìí tẹ bá wojú ẹ rí pé tó ṣe sùn tó ṣe jí ni so táwọn èèyàn bá ti wá nígbà yẹn I am always the one ṣe rí pé the same picture ni ṣe rí pé picture yẹn náà ní ibele ṣe rí pé background ilé olóyè nìyẹn èyí tẹ bá ti wá sílé yẹn rí this was 2021 o 2021 táwa tẹ̀ ti rò pé nígbà yẹn pé tó bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní kó ṣẹlẹ̀ but wọ́n ní gbogbo nǹkan ló ní time ló lásìkò ṣe rí pé the same picture the same aṣọ tíyà ìwọ̀ òun náà lélẹ̀ because nígbà tó dé èmi mo lọ attend sí wọn kó tó di pé olóyè wá jáde wá bá wa gbogbo walkie-talkie tẹ́ra fún wa gbà yẹn gbogbo ẹ̀ náà la ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ mo dẹ̀ kí chief mamilẹ̀ Yorùbá pé wọ́n kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun ẹ bá mi send picture yẹn tó bá wà lọ́wọ́ yín backend team ẹ bá ń send ẹ wá sí àbíkẹ́ ẹ lè post ẹ sórí Facebook máa pick ẹ ó ráyè pé máa send ẹ sí mi ni so so káyọ̀ kan máa sọ nínú káwa máa sọ nísìnyí pé this and that ẹ má ká ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ now if there's other ways that we can do it ká ṣe now èyí náà mú other ways wá kò ṣe pé ẹ wá ń sọ this and that so you don't know Bishop gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ bishop pé bí ojú ẹ̀ mọ tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ òun lélẹ̀ bishop Adeshina lẹ́yìn ojú ẹ̀ lélẹ̀ just like bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ẹ̀bí àwọn kan mọ̀ mí náà tẹ́lẹ̀ náà ẹ̀bí movement náà ló jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ mí àwọn tó dẹ̀ mọ̀ mí tẹ́lẹ̀. ẹ̀ ń ṣe Tinubu la fẹ́rẹ̀ sí àfẹ́fẹ́ Tinubu ṣe. So this is just to clarify things there. Kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe photoshop lélẹ́yìn kò ń ṣe kíní o mo lè lọ mú fídíò jáde o bí wọn àti bishop ti ṣe interview yẹn o àlọ́mú jáde nísìn ó dà pé àwọn tíìmù rẹ̀ ṣì ń bá mi tún wá àwọn ọ̀nà dá wọn mo ń bẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ mú interview tèmi àti bishop ṣe yẹn wá kí ló dé tá à ń wo Tinubu látàn kan láwé kí Tinubu ṣe jàre mo ń bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ bí a máa rí fídíò yìí mo mọ̀ bí a topic tí mo lò yẹn nígbà yẹn so I don't understand ìdùn wọ́n gba data ọmọ Yorùbá wọ́n ṣe this wọ́n ṣe that Bishop Adéyẹmọ Bishop ẹ pé kí n tó lọlé nígbà yẹn many conversation lájọ ní tí mo rẹ pé àti bá wálé o kódà àwọn kan ìbílẹ̀ pé máa wálé péye sí mi wálé ilé ọmọ kí n bá baba lẹ́rù mi Yoruba race mo mọ̀ bí a topic ta lò ní ẹbọ mo fẹ́ wá jáde from the tribe of bí ẹ rò pé how many years ago was this mo ti rí image tí mo wà ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo fídíò yẹn ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ bishop ní o ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ bishop ẹ máa rí bishop ní sí ni o bishop nìyẹn o.
ẹ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa pé ẹ káàsán ẹ káàárọ̀ ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́. ibi tí ẹ ti láǹfààní àti máa gbọ́ wa orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Koikimedia atútúndé báyìí o gẹ́gẹ́ bí ibi tá a bá ń sọ pé Yorùbá nation kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́nìí a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí Yoruba raised from the tribe of Isiaka by Bishop Adeyemo Adeshina.
ẹni sùúrù kódà èmi ò ní team tó dáa Koikimedia team wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun ń bọ̀ iṣẹ́ takuntakun ń bọ̀ at least àwa sì lè vow fún bishop wọ́n gba details ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá jẹ́ pé yẹn ni ẹ pé wọ́n kájọ yanjú ẹ̀ táwọn tá máa ṣe kò ṣe pé a fi á bíríngì èèyàn kan dáhùn pé kinní kan èyí ni kẹlẹ fún wa ní template mi so mò ń bọ̀ ẹ máa ráhùn picture yẹn nísìn ẹ ṣàfún mi ní few seconds ń bọ̀ o chief ìdíbàjẹ́ fún ẹ bákẹ́ǹtì ni ń bọ̀ ní ìyẹn ẹ má bínú o mo sáré fi write up sí ni kí tó post ẹ. sódà bóyá bishop 2021 yẹn ó ti wá yàtọ̀ àìmọye àwọn tó dájọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ gan tó yẹ pé ta fún ní gbogbo nǹkan ju kíní gan lọ sẹ ká má fi máa bọ mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ǹkan ká kó jókòó àdẹ̀kó palẹ̀ mọ́ dúró nọ́mbà yẹn ṣì wà ọ̀rẹ́ tó bá fẹ́ pè wọlé o and Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ó ní picture kan tí mo fẹ́ mú wá fún gbogbo èèyàn wa nísìn ẹ rò pé àwọn ń ṣeré pẹ̀lú Yorùbá nation lágbé dání life and death ní kan tá gbé dání life and death so àwọn ò fi ṣeré o so tẹ́yìn kan bá sọ de eré ń bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tún lọ wo àwọn picture tí mo ṣe upload bí a torí pé ẹ̀rọ àwọn picture yẹn rí tẹ́lẹ̀ kálẹ̀ rí yẹn mo ń béèrè ní o kálẹ̀ ń rí yẹn lórí screen èèyàn wa bíyàn kankan tẹ̀ ní ṣé endorse ṣé Ìgbòho náà á tún endorse ẹni tó mọ̀ pẹ̀ ẹjọ́ tó yọ ọlọ́run yẹn wa má bá ń ta gbé dání jẹ́ o má bàjẹ́ rárá tí rúbọ̀ bá work ẹ fún wa ní nǹkan míì ẹ dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ fún wa ní nǹkan míì ká tó stop rúbà bẹ́ẹ̀ fún wa ní nǹkan míì rúbà sì ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ èyí lẹ máa fún wa ní nǹkan míì bẹ́ẹ̀ bá fún wa ní nǹkan míì rúbà sì ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ yẹ mo ti rí ọ̀ya mọ̀ ń bọ̀ ẹni sùúrù jẹ́ nkọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ti sọ time tí bishop dé ẹ̀rọ báwọ̀ ní rẹ́kọ̀dì ní sùúrù ọmọ pẹ́ẹ́nì wa wọ́n dé nígbà wo Friday 2nd of April 2021 okay. So wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú wa títí di Monday okay Easter Sunday pẹ̀lú wa ọ̀dà ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gan ní 2021 ọ̀dà okay ọ̀dà ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gan ní mo dúpẹ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gan ní. Òun lẹ ti gbọ́ yẹn backend team mi ló tún pè mí yẹn pé Mr. Koiki gbogbo details táyàn ní lórí yẹn ó wà lọ́wọ́ wa nínú profile. Mo sọ fún yín pé àwọn kankan wà àwa yẹn rí tálẹ̀ rí yẹn ọmọ ilẹ̀ rí yẹn àtàbúrò yìí àbí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀ bishop tẹ́ ẹ̀ wá bishop káàkiri bishop ti sọnù ọ́ àti wá rí bishop ìyàwó mi wò àti wá rí bishop rí o ṣàfihàn mú program ẹ fẹ́ dàrú ẹ fẹ́ mú orin àjọ ẹ fẹ́ fà wálẹ̀ nígbà táwa lọlé ẹlòmíì wà Nàìjíríà ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan mo ní kó wá bá mi nílé Ìgbòho ó ní láyé àjọ ń gbé ní UK ni ó ní òun ní wá ó ní àpàdé ní London dáre olówó lágbà ó ní kò sí tó jọ ọmọ Ìbàdàn ni ṣẹrígbà tí mo ní ṣẹrí bishop ní àjọ gbé dání ni o no election lásán nígbà yẹn wọ́n ní afẹ́dọ́gúnlẹ̀ ká má lọ ṣe election ṣẹrí pé evidence wà ìgbà ńlá ní a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe flyer àti poster lẹ́yìn èèyàn wa tẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kówó fún wa tá à ń ṣe poster àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ti gbàgbé wọ́n lọ dìbò fún èmi ló kàn débẹ̀ tán nísìn àrí stampede káàkiri gbogbo Nàìjíríà ṣé problem tèmi wá nìyẹn ni ṣé mi mo ní kí stampede wà ní nígbà tẹ́mi àti bishop ẹlòmíì ò rẹ́dì láti bá wa mú poster báyìí dání ní 2021 that was 2 years clear before election 2 years clear la fi ń campaign la fi ń pariwo fún ọmọ Yorùbá ṣé ló bá ń ṣeré lórí movement yìí ni a ṣeré lórí movement yìí o kò ṣeré lórí movement yìí o lẹ́yìn kan bá ń ṣeré ẹ lè máa ṣeré àwọn òṣèré o àmúni àjẹ má dàrú rárá mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ o ẹ dẹ̀ lè frustrate bàbá Akíntóyè àti bàbá olóyè Ìgbòho láyé ànígbà láyé ni mo sọ ànígbà no matter whoever you are ẹ bá ti wà nù kẹ́yìn náà ti wà nù bẹ́ẹ̀ ti pẹ́ kólúkálukú ṣe tiẹ̀ má dá nǹkan rú mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ ó dàbí kémi sọ fáwọn àwọn mídíà tó ṣe ń dé nísì àwọn pavilion ẹ wo báwọn bróda wa yẹn àti ICTV ẹ wo àwọn méjèèjì yẹn ìyá rò pé yàn gbówó fún wọn ni $1 báyà á fún wọn ẹ wo báwọn méjèèjì ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ tẹ́ ẹ bá dẹ̀ mọ̀ àwọn tó ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ tó ń pè ní ICTV bróda mi yẹn iṣẹ́ takuntakun ló ń ṣe inú Nàìjíríà rẹ̀ ló wà èyí jókòó síta a máa ń sọ pé ẹni tó wà nínú ilé ẹ̀wọ̀n kan tó wà nínú ilé gan ló ní rísìkì jù ICTV lélẹ́yìí brọ́dà mi yẹn gbogbo wa lẹ máa ń wo program ẹ lè máa mọ̀ fún un ni tó máa ń gbé scientific prophet yẹn wá mo fẹ́ ká wò ẹ kú iṣẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin àlùfáà wa IC lélẹ́yìí tíyàn bá rí brọ́dà wa yìí ìyẹn fẹ́ẹ́ máa sọ kò rí gbòwó rí bó ṣe wà yẹn bọ̀tọ́ ti láǹfààní àti bá olóyè sọ̀rọ̀ tẹ bá dẹ̀ tún lọ wo kémi wá sọ nísìnyí pé àwọn mídíà tó dé lánàá yìí o nígbà kan tí káwọn náà máa ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú bó ṣe ń ṣe ẹ̀yin ní kẹlẹ́ fún wa ní tẹ́ḿpìlẹ̀tì míì ẹ fún wa ní nǹkan míì tá a tún máa lò kò ṣe pé ẹ fẹ́ rọ́bìṣì tó wà ńlẹ̀ èyí tó wà ńlẹ̀ ẹ tí fún wa ní ìmọ̀ ẹ tún fẹ́ máa rọ́bìṣì tó wà ńlẹ̀ ẹ wo brọ́dà wa yìí náà onítìrì ti pe brọ́dà wa yìí tí kó wá darapọ̀ mọ́ òun kò oníláyé orí kò sí tó jọ ojoojúmọ́ ni àwọn onítìrì tì wọ́n wá bọ̀bọ̀ ẹ̀ pé kó wá darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn ọjọ́ máa ṣe fake declaration tó ṣe ó ní kọ́ fún òun ní evidence or evidence fún ìyẹn brother wa Pavilion TV yìí and many more like that tó tún máa dé lọ́la and that is the video with myself with Bishop that is the picture evidence this is 2021 ó ti pé 3 years Bishop dẹ̀ ṣì wà ní movement ẹlòmíì gan náà wọ́n ṣe mọ́ ti sóhun so what are we saying so why do we like to destroy others? ó ń collate data àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ̀yin náà ẹ fún wa ní kan tá a máa fi collate data àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ká tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ ẹ dá gbọ́ bíṣọ̀pù díẹ̀ nínú fídíò tá a ṣe tó máa lọ jàre ẹ máa mú progress mú rí àjẹfẹ́ ẹ tún fi fà wálẹ̀ títí ẹ dá gbọ́ díẹ̀ nínú interview yẹn ẹ bá dẹ̀ wo 3 years ago ní interview yìí 3 years ago 3.9k yes Bishop all what you have said your research book was true clear and great ìyàwó Janet ló sọ̀rọ̀ níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn lára àwọn mítàjọ ṣe movement ẹlòmíì ti kúrò láàrin wa ní 2021 nígbà tí gbogbo wa sì dúró dáadáa ó tó di pé lórí burúkú Dúpẹ́ dé tó mú gbogbo nǹkan tó dàrú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni if Bishop idea is not good enough and is outdated bring your own kẹ wá fi ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ó ṣe pé fẹ́ mú ìtò wà nílẹ̀ nígbà tí Twitter tó kò ṣe dáadáa ṣé bọ̀bọ̀ tó ní Twitter Jack kí ló tẹ̀ ń jẹ́ former Twitter ìbọn náà ti lọ sí ọ̀nà dáwọn nísìn former kí ni ó tẹ̀ ń jẹ́ former Twitter ṣèbáwọn yẹn náà gbogbo data lọ ń gbà káàkiri former data tweet no kò ṣe CEO former Twitter owner Jack Dorsey ṣé mọ̀ pé òun náà ṣí another platform after tó ta Twitter fún kí ló ń pè Elon Musk. So if Ruba is not working fẹ́yìn pé ó collect data kí YSDM fún wa ní ìta máa collect data tiwa ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ in the financial tó máa fi support ní tá à ń ṣe kò ṣe pé kẹfẹ́ knock nǹkan down kó jágbajàgba lọ kó jágbajàgba lọ jàre. Mo tẹ̀ mọ́ platform ló wá padà ṣe náà ó padà ṣe ní platform mo rántí orúkọ platform tó ṣí who owned Twitter before Elon Musk òun lélẹ̀ bọ̀bọ̀ ìlú ni. And these are all the evidence wà ń bẹ̀ òun ṣe pé dẹ̀ ń sè ṣé yàn olóyè àkọ́jẹ́ kíyàn kan ṣoṣo ní léwu fúnjọ́ mẹ́ta onímọ̀wé èèyàn tó jẹ́ kò dẹ̀ ní sọ fún wa pé bishop yẹn ẹ sá fún o lè ní o ẹ jẹ́ ká wà kíá fún náà so nísìnyí ẹ wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ máa fẹnu bàjẹ́ àwọn èèyàn wá ní Ruba yẹn o bí a fraud ní o kí ni gbogbo nonsense yẹn ẹ ká wà kíá fún o. Àparí program kápọ̀gbọ̀ díẹ̀ just few seconds náà ni ọ̀hún ní láti lọ nísìn bàbá family mi ṣe Christmas àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ Christmas nílé wa báyìí.
alàgbà wa kọ òun la fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí mo kí ilé nǹkan sí o bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa àmọ́ ká tó máa lọ ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ anthem wa ká tó máa Monday a tún wá ń ṣe ọdún náà lọ báyìí ti ọdún àwọn mùsùlùmí ṣé kò ń ṣe pé ó lídìí la ṣe ń pọbìnrin ní kúmọ́lú ni àbí ń tẹ́tí rò bẹ́ẹ̀ nítorí pé gbàtẹ́ ní ẹ tún máa wá yọjú sí wa mo ní bàbá yìí ó dà ń pé ẹ mọ̀ pé ọdún mùsùlùmí gan ó wà kọ́ lè sọ pé ẹ balance ẹ̀.
Ọlọ́run ló mọṣẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe àkókò tí Ọlọ́run bá fún wa àti nípa ìdarí ẹ̀mí mímọ́ tọ́lọ́run bá ti ní ó yá náà nìyẹn.
tọ́lọ́run bá ti ní ó yá náà nìyẹn. ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire ẹni mọ̀ kó wá sọ òun lọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation ẹlòmíì náà wò tẹ̀ gbọ́ rárá kí ló dé tán náà wọn ò gbọ́.
kò sẹ́ni tó máa ní òun ò gbọ́ nípa Yorùbá nation ní Nàìjíríà yìí àti Fúlàní àti Haúsá àti Ìgbò àti Yorùbá tí ò lè kàwé gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n ti gbọ́ báyìí wípé Yorùbá ń lọ wípé Yorùbá fẹ́ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè àti wípé ìjàgbara yìí ó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ oníkálukú dẹ̀ ni ó ti sú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú Nàìjíríà ṣe wà yìí so nígbà tí ìjàgbara yìí ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn kan ń wò lókèrèrè ṣùgbọ́n láti ìgbà tí EndSARS iṣu ti kọjá yẹn ìjàgbara yẹn ó súnmọ́lé ó wọlé ó súnmọ́lé ní ọdún tá a wà 2021 ó ti wà lákàtà gbogbo ènìyàn kò sẹ́nì kankan tó máa lóhùn òòrùn ìtì gbọ́ nǹkan tó kọ̀ lè sọ ni pé orí social media ló ti ń gbọ́, orí TV ló ti ń gbọ́, orí rédíò ló ti ń gbọ́, orí yambi ló ti ń gbọ́, ní tẹ̀lé ni tó bá tó àkókò tó máa dé ojúlé ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ àwárí wọn ní ojú but ta ni ọmọ Yorùbá gangan tó tí a lè sọ pé ó ń jà fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá? Ìwọ náà ni, ìwọ tó jókòó sílé ẹ̀yẹn tó ń retí pé àwọn kan ni ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ ẹ, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ilé ẹ, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ibi iṣẹ́ ẹ, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ibikíbi tó bá wà láti dúró láti sọ wípé ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí, mo fẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè mi.
Téèyàn bá ń sọ pé ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí, lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ láǹfààní àti máa gbọ́ wa àti máa tẹ̀lé wa. Ìwé tí a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí òun lélẹ́yìí. Ká tó máa mẹ́nu bà ìwé ọ̀hún, kò ń ṣe ìwé àkọ́kọ́ tẹ́ máa kọ lélẹ́yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí n tí ẹ bá wa sọ nígbà tí aláǹfààní àti wà pẹ̀lú yín ní Easter Sunday títí di Good Friday tí a fi gbà yín ní àlejò. Àmọ́ ẹ tún ti wá kọ ìmí tó ṣẹ̀ jáde báyìí tá a máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Àkọlé èyí tí ẹ kọ yìí ó ní ẹ bá mi sọ fáwọn èèyàn kó má jẹ́ pé látẹnu tèmi tó èmi lè má lè pronounce ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí èdè tí ẹ máa fi bá wa sọ.
Ìwé yìí is titled Yoruba Race from the tribe of Isaka. Isaka jẹ́ ọmọ Jákọ́bù karùn-ún, èyí tó jẹ́ pé ó wà lára ìran méjìlá Ísírẹ́lì ní ìran méjìlá. Àwọn ìran tó padà wá sí orílẹ̀-èdè Ísírẹ́lì ní ayé àgbà tá a wà yìí, àwọn ìran méjì péré ni nínú méjìlá.
So òun náà ni ibi tá a máa rí ètò yìí mọ́ nìyẹn fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa tí ẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé wa lórí ìkànnì wa tí à ń pè ní Koikimedia. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé àní ṣe lásán, ó ń ṣọmọ lókù bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àní sí pẹ̀lú ìyá rẹ̀. Ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ á pariwo títí ni, a máa fà á débi tó yẹ kó dé, òun lọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀. Jọ́jọ́ ni a máa rojọ́ ni tá a máa fi débi tá à ń lọ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ẹjọ́ la máa fi rò pa yín, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fi jẹ́ kí ìran Yorùbá kó bọ́ nínú wàhálà. Ẹjọ́ la máa rò, a máa rojọ́ pa yín ni, wàláì a máa rojọ́ pa yín nítorí pé ìkà ni gbogbo yín. ẹ̀fẹ́ ká délẹ̀ lérí ìrọ̀lẹ́ pa, so a máa délẹ̀ lérí yẹn láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Mo kí gbogbo wa pé thank you so much for being part of the program today, and we hope that we will all have a great time, in celebrating many Christmas. Gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà ní tẹ́ẹ̀rí chicken rà lọ́dún yìí, ẹ má fi ṣèbínú. Bóyá láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà tí ìran Yorùbá bá tún nínú wàhálà àti ìdààmú tí a wà nínú ẹ̀, Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí ẹ lè rí chicken rà. Orúkọ tèmi náà ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tèmi lórí Mixela Ògúnmọ́lá Akin Games ni. I remember the interview with Bishop. I remember very well. Ẹlòmíì kan tó ṣẹ̀ join movement Bishop lẹ́tìrí yẹn 2021. Nígbà wo ni wọ́n join movement? Nígbà wo lẹ́yìn join tẹ́ darapọ̀? Dizzy Mani, YSDM Canada, what is going on? Plot. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Ẹ má mú movement, ẹ má dàrú, ẹ má frustrate Bàbá Akíntóyè, ẹ má frustrate Olóyè Ìgbòho. Tẹ́ ẹ bá lè support wọn, ẹ fi wá sílẹ̀. Àwa máa manage ara wa. So I will leave it like that for tonight. Mo kí back end team mi, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin grandma, mo kí ìyàwó Tolúwaláṣẹ tí ọmọ wọn tí ó ṣaláìsí ní kódà wọ́n sọ fún wọn ní Kóìkì kò ń ṣe 17 lọ́mọ mi ṣaláìsí o, on the 16 ni o, nígbà tó wà lórí Yorùbáwùyí mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mọ́mì 17 ní átíkù yẹn, but 16 ni ọmọ wọn ṣaláìsí nínú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tí ó jẹ́ ìbànújẹ́. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o. Ògúnmọ́lá ní wow, I'm seeing Bishop for the first. Bishop lẹ́wọ̀ yẹn kò ń ṣe àlejò rárá, kò ń ṣàlejò Olóyè Ìgbòho, kò ń ṣàlejò Bàbá Akíntóyè, kò ń ṣàlejò bí a ní síta bá ń ṣe program a gbé Bishop sẹ́yìn wa, ẹ lè bá mọ̀ pé Bishop yẹn torí a ti dáwó sọ́wọ́ wọn àbí a ti kó dátà lé wọn lọ́wọ́. Dátà tèmi kó sórí Facebook tí Facebook fi shadow ban mi tí kò jẹ́ kí Yorùbá Nation rìn síwájú over 500,000 followers ẹ wo èèyàn mélòó tó ń wà lórí Facebook tó bá yẹ pọ́rọ̀ òkú àtòbò ni mò ń sọ nísìnyí Facebook máa release ẹ̀ kí ni mo mọ̀ tí Facebook ń fi data mi ṣe you know but at the end of the day ti gba country tá bá gba country yes there will be a lot of regulation so mo ń bọ̀ mo fẹ́ adjust the so mo kí gbogbo àjàre so ká lè máa lọ because family mi láti ní space wọn nísìn wọn á fi tèmi já wọn dúró so once again mo kí gbogbo wa pé adélẹ̀ lérí o no matter what we will get there so ẹ lè screenshot kẹ́ lọ tọ́jú picture bishop o torí bishop ti gba information wa sọ́wọ́ kó má bàa sọnù so that a bá ń wá bishop a lè mọ ojú tá a máa wá sí mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining tonight. God bless Biafra. God bless the United States of Biafra. There are a lot of things happening within the side, but ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣọ́ra àfilẹ̀ ẹ̀bẹ̀ ká máa fàdúrà ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́. After tí wọ́n parí convention wọn, ẹ bá rí àjálù oríṣiríṣi tó wọnú ọ̀dọ̀ wọn lọ́rùn kò ṣe máa sọ rárá, but I'll just leave it like that. Kọ́lọ́run kó ran gbogbo wa lọ́wọ́ káfíndélẹ̀ lérí. Mo kí brother mi Dizzy Man, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ máa tún program yìí gbọ́ mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà tí Ọlọ́run túbọ̀ jẹ́ kí a rí yín pẹ́ mo kí gbogbo lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o so I'm gonna play the anthem but ká tó play anthem lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ̀ràn lè ṣe wa lọ́wọ́ ká lè dé ilẹ̀ lérí ká lè ṣe a lot Àṣàkẹ́ TV show mo kí ẹ dáadáa ìyá mi mo kí gbogbo àwọn media wa ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Jimmy Koya ẹni tó wọn bá dárúkọ ìjọ ẹ má fi ṣègbínú gbogbo yín pátá náà ni ẹ wà valuable lórí platform wa èmi náà àwọn platform tó kún náà mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé àkóṣe takuntakun kò gbọ́dọ̀ sú wa kò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ wá no retreat no surrender ni lórí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ Somaliland òun ni the major discussion lálẹ́ akọ̀yà bàrà sáwọn ibì kankan náà ni mo wá kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí mo wá anthem ni o ti bá ti rí anthem yẹn a máa gbé wọlé at the end the program yẹn and on that note Merry Christmas. You can send the picture Christmas kan tó lóye tó ṣe tí ẹjẹ mo bẹ mo lè sáré lò mo like picture yẹn wọ́n ṣe fún olóyè ni Koiki bá mi fi kí olóyè Ìgbòho ìwọ̀n tó bá ń comment pé Koiki mo post nǹkan kan kò yẹ ṣáà máa fi brain yẹn máa fi gbé lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan mo bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ sáré pé picture yẹn wọlé máa fi kí gbogbo ọ náà ni mo kí ìfẹ́ lódún àpapọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá mo kí gbogbo wa pé a kú mo fẹ́ gbé picture yẹn wọlé ní ọ̀pá tó máa lọ. Bàbá wa kan ló send ẹ̀ pé àwọn fi kí season greeting wishing you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year Dr. Sunday Yorùbá Nation àwọn Yorùbá Nation youth tẹ̀ ní kódà àwọn lọ́wọ́ ṣe iṣẹ́ àwọn pínyà kan ló send ẹ̀ sí ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ tó send ẹ̀ ṣe jẹ́ ká ẹ̀yẹ sáré gbé yẹn wọlé ká kọ́ fi ní kí gbogbo afárapátá o. Ọdún ayabo bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká tún lè ṣe mí o ìgbà tá a bá tún máa ṣe mí báyìí kí a ti wà recognize pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn tó yẹ kó recognize wa káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé ìyẹn ni priority wa o so that is the picture coming in just about 2 minutes so olóyè náà ni máa kí gbogbo wa pátá gbàkú àlàjọ ọdún ṣọ́ọ̀pù ọlọ́pẹ́ Ọlọ́run ní ṣe lè láṣẹ mí gbogbo wa pátá ọdún ayabo fún wa o gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń sọ pé Yorùbá ò ní bọ́ nínú wàhálà ẹnu ní gbogbo àjọ wọ̀nyí òun náà nìyẹn ti rí yẹn Merry Christmas and season greetings fún gbogbo wa pátápátá one love one love one love dáṣà òṣà ńlá àti Bìlìkísù ìyàwó rẹ̀ one love one love one love thank you so much and a very good night from here and on that note ìbòlántẹ̀ mi wà ẹ̀tì rẹ̀ ojú gbọ̀nsẹ̀ kọ́lá kó ṣàánú it's not easy nígbà tí play anthem ká lè end the program yìí lálẹ́ ìbòlántẹ̀ mi òkè yẹ ó dàárọ̀ gbogbo lé bàbá Ayọ̀ good night Yorùbá Nation no going back good night. ẹ bá wo picture tó wà níwájú yín ẹ rí date kò sírọ́ níbẹ̀ ẹ̀yin náà wo date yẹn ṣe ti rí ẹ bá wo date yẹn April Friday 2nd 2021 6:38 p.m. ìyẹn ló ṣe sọ pé social media ó ní footprint so ẹ̀yin tí ẹ rí bishop rí tẹ́ ẹ mọ èèyàn tó ń pè ní Bishop Adeshina bishop náà ni gbogbo wa ti rí tí a gbé àwọn wọn jáde kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá kó lè mọ ẹni tẹ́ ń dí pẹ̀lú òun náà lẹ ti rí yẹn o mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o òun ayọ̀ la máa wà Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó bà orúkọ wa jẹ́ o bọ́ọ̀ ṣe bà orúkọ tèmi jẹ́ àní jẹ́ kẹ́lòmíì bà orúkọ ẹlòmíì náà jẹ́ ẹ̀yin náà tẹ́ bá ní nǹkan tẹ́ lè ṣe láti fi ran movement lọ́wọ́ ẹ gbé jáde fún wa ní 2025 ká lè tẹ̀síwájú Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Bye.